Yes, people. What's good? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the end of season finale. I mean, the NBA is finally come to a close. The season's done. The regular, I mean, I should say the regular season is done. Now we head into the playoffs. This is the the time of year where I'd say most people are excited. I think everyone's excited for the playoffs. I've been looking forward to it since I'll be real. The last time we won the championship, we're the current holders. I want to, I look forward to the playoffs again. I hopefully we go back to back, and we'll see whatsoever the Celtics. But yeah, King, welcome back again, bro. Finally, bro. After how many shows, after how many weeks of doing hoops pod, how many weeks of doing NBA shows, and we finally come to a conclusion that the season's done. Your Sixers can relax now. You can watch the playoffs. I have to go through more anxiety, but I'd have to go through weeks of potential stress. Or hopefully the Celtics don't do that to me. But how are you doing? And yeah, let's get started, man. It's been a rough NBA season, isn't it, for a lot of people? But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, for my team, it was a long season. Towards the end, it was tank for the pick, which we did successfully. But a very disappointing season, considering obviously the blockbuster acquisition of Paul George, what you were expecting. Obviously, we have a good team, but it just injuries and other factors it didn't work out. But yeah, in terms of overall season, I'm happy it's over. I think it's been a great season. I think there's been a lot of great moments, and the even the last day was exciting, especially with certain teams in the West um,
no worries.
fighting for positions. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good,
Certain
bro.
certain teams in the West fighting for positions. So and surprise, surprise, even Golden State making the play-in, which when I thought they would have been a lock for the for playoffs, but overall and it was an exciting game between them and the Clippers. I mean, when it even went to overtime. So
Yeah,
even towards the end of the season, there was always something to fight for. So I think it's been, in terms of the West, has been a very close season. The East was kind of predicted a long time ago, or sooner, pretty much. And I think overall, I think it's going to be a very exciting postseason. I think there's a lot of teams that are have the potential to make it far and have good playoff runs as well. So
mm.
yeah, it's going to be very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. It's unfortunate we never got the Golden State Lakers first round
Yeah.
game.
I was looking forward to that. Yeah.
That would have been fun, but
Mm.
uh, there's still some tasty matchups out there, and the play-in tournament is just around the corner. So excited for that as well.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think we missed out on a potential like all timer. I think in the Warriors and the Lakers, I think that would have been a potential all time matchup. I think even though the season that the Warriors have not been, what do you call that team that most how do you say it? They're not really consistent, are they? They weren't consistent this season. Even though they have Jimmy Butler now, they have Steph Curry now. They have Steph Curry, they have Draymond Green, right? Those three, right? And they've not been as consistent, but it'd have been such a great first round matchup to watch. I think between the Golden State Warriors and the LA Lakers, that would have been all time, in my opinion, potentially. But I still think that you know what, there's still a lot to play for. So it's not all doom and gloom. They can still meet up in the playoffs. So yeah, but we'll get into that. Obviously, there's been some few playoff matches that have already, well, not few playoff matches, but a few playoff matchups that have been confirmed. However, before we get into all that, we're gonna have to talk about the playing tournament. The playing tournament is one that I think this um is where we all, I think it's where we all are excited, or not all excited, but we all are, or we're all looking forward to who my team will meet up, who other teams will meet up as well. So no, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting, but make sure you people are liking and subscribing. I just want to say big up for 175 subs. I think that's been the goal that I asked for to get to mid-April, but I still need at least 25 more to get to the goal by the end of April. So at least if you could get me to 200 subs by the end of April, that'd be great. That's the goal now, and then we'll set new targets as we go on and so on and so forth. But yeah, I think this is where we start. I think we start here. The play-in tournament is big. The play-in tournament begins tomorrow, and let's look at it here. So the first game that will happen tomorrow will be the Orlando Magic versus the Atlanta Hawks. The winner of that game plays the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs because it's the second seed versus the seventh seed. So the format works. If anyone's confused still about the play-in tournament, it's the winner of the seventh versus eighth goes to play the winner of seventh seed versus eighth seed goes to play the second seed, right? And the loser of that game will have to play the winner of the ninth and 10th seed game. The winner of the 9th and 10th seed game. The loser of that 9th and 10th seed game gets eliminated completely. So let's say the Bulls or the Heat eliminate the Bulls. The Bulls are out of the playoffs. The Heat will then go on to play the loser of the Magic and the Hawks series. Let's say, for example, I go with Orlando to beat Atlanta, right? It'll be a Miami Heat versus Atlanta Hawks second potential, like to see who goes into the playoffs. That the winner of that goes to play the first seed, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Excuse me. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But before we get into the play, let's actually recap the regular season. I think that's where we have to go on first. We can leave this on for sure. I think let's just leave it on anyways. We don't have to because it'll help us recap our season properly, right? Let's go back to the start of October to like December. Let's go around that time. From October to December, I actually look at or at least early December. There's been so many underwhelming teams. There's been so many teams that for me have been kind of underwhelming, and teams that have gone from the trenches all the way up, or not trenches, but have or sort of started to turn the season around slightly. Go and look at the Detroit Pistons, where they were, and how they fared now. Did you expect the Detroit Pistons to even make the playoffs this year? Did you even expect them to make the play-in, let alone, qualifying for anything this season? Because I thought the Pistons would miss out again, and I get another lottery pick. But hey, fair play to the Detroit Pistons. They've actually stepped their game. They brought in their new head coach, JB Bickerstaff, who was a former Cleveland Cavaliers head coach, right? And now look at where they end up, 6th in the East. I know it's not a massive achievement, but because the East ain't as strong as what most people think, or some people think. But just look at the way that that some surprise packages this season have turned out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In terms of Pistons, they weren't really on my radar as a team to make the playoffs, but they've come to. I think the one thing I like about them this season is they're a bit more old school. They're rough around the edges. They're trying to be one of the more physical teams in the league, and I think with the great coaching and I think the failures of other teams, and I would say the failures and the injuries of other teams has led them to get that position. But I think it's deserved. It's deserved. They've got a positive record. They've been, for the most part, a really good team. On the night they can beat anyone, and they're going to be a very tough matchup for the Knicks. So I think for Detroit to get into the playoffs is probably the most they're gonna do. There'll probably be a first round knockout, but I think that's what you need sometimes. You need the beginner step. The beginner step is to get into the playoffs. The next step is to become a top 4 team. Then you go on from there. Really. You build around the progress that you make. So I think it was good progress for their team compared to last season.
I hear it. I hear it completely. And the Bucks started off their season very, very weak as well. They started off their season very, very poorly. We all thought, "Oh my God, this is the end for Doc Rivers. This is the end for Milwaukee. It's time to trade Giannis. Is it time to trade? Is it time to trade Dame? Is it time to break everything up? It's time to just blow it all up." Hey, Milwaukee have turned their season around completely. If you want to talk about turnaround, that's a turnaround right there. I think they were like what? I think they were like what, 2 for 8. I think 2 for 10 or something like that. I can't remember how many games they were behind the 500. And fair play to Milwaukee, like they've actually stepped it up. They've actually turned their whole entire season around just in order to get the 5th seed. Even though the 5th seed is not as great, because I think the Bucks should be much higher. If you ask me, I think the Bucks should at least be a 3rd seed in the East, or 4. Yeah, I think the Bucks should be above the Knicks, in my opinion, at least. I think the Bucks should be better than the Knicks, because the Bucks have arguably the best player in the East right now. If you ask me, I think Giannis is arguably the best player in the East right now in terms of the way he's playing, in terms of the way the Milwaukee has been moving over the last few years. Giannis has been I wouldn't say stat padding, but he's definitely been, in terms of the numbers, the way Milwaukee have been playing over the years. In the regular season, Giannis has definitely been that guy. Like to look to. If you ask me who's the player that you wouldn't want to face in the East, it's Giannis. Giannis is the one player that I think people will be like, do you know what? I'm not worried about this guy. I would say maybe Jason Tatum and Donovan Mitchell are just after him. So hey, look, the Bucks have definitely turned it around. What are your thoughts on on Milwaukee and everything?
I think it just took them a while to get used to each other. I think obviously bringing Dame Lillard to the team, it kind of you have to change the way you play, because you're bringing an all-star talent to play alongside Giannis. And for Giannis, it's an adjustment period for both of them, because Giannis only knows one way to play the game, and he's a very kind of ball dominant kind of player. So for him, it's about getting used to not having to be the guy to do everything. He doesn't always has to bring it up the court. He doesn't always have to do, go, 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 go. He has a guy there that can light it up as well. That if he's having an off night, there's a guy there that can give you 30, 40, even 50 points in a night. So I think it was just an adjustment period of getting used to a new type of team. It's unfortunate that Lillard got injured towards this part of this season, and I think is looking like to miss some of the first round at least. Maybe, hopefully, he makes it back. But yeah, I think it was just because the thing is, with that trade as well, they lost defense. They lost a lot of defense, and they added a lot of offensive power. But sometimes when it comes to that kind of the loss of defense, you don't really see it until you start the season and you looked at the Bucks, and they were a very defensively weak team until they made adjustments. But I think now they're a much more well-oiled machine. They still have ups and downs. They're not the perfect article, but they're going to be a team in the East that are going to be a problem, because I think if you give the ball Giannis in terms of the playoff basketball, it's going to be an issue. But yeah, not a great season, not a bad season, just
I agree.
In between for them.
They should be much higher.
Compared to what they should have done.
They should be much higher, man. They should be
how much did I miss? Because I got home like around close to 1:30, and I had to eat something first before jumping on here.
Oh no! I think you're good, bro. We were just talking about the Pistons and the Bucks. I think that their season have been good. Like, we're talking about the teams on the screen right now. So we're talking about like the So the way the Bucks have turned their season around. Remember the Bucks had a terrible start to the season. I think they were like 2 for 8 or like 2 for 10. I can't remember how many games were behind like the 500, and they just completely turned it all around. And then the Pistons as well. They've completely I never thought the Detroit Pistons would be where they are right now. Like I'll be real, I thought the Pistons would be a lottery team at best. But hey, this team is. Every time I watch the Pistons, whenever they come up against the Celtics, they always play tough. They always play on the glass. Like they're always so like that. They just want to, how would you say it? I would say they're very fierce. I'd say the Pistons are a very, very fierce team. But hey, I mean, they've done what they have to do. And then, like I said, the Bucks should be much higher than where they are. Giannis is a much scarier player than he should be. I think the stats tell you everything, but also you look at his team around him. Like imagine the Bucks like with that team not being a third seed at best, in my opinion. I think the Bucks should be a third seed. That Bucks team, look at Dame Giannis, right? You got great shooters off the bench. You had Chris Middleton, but he's not been traded to the Wizards. You got who else was there? Yeah, Bobby Portis. You have a Brook Lopez, even though he's not in his prime anymore. The guy is still putting up his numbers. The guy is still doing everything at his best. So, yeah, Justin, what are your thoughts on both the Bucks? I'll start with you with the Pistons first because I thought the Pistons had a very good turnaround. I thought they were the surprise package of the East for me. If you ask me who the surprise package is, it's definitely got to be the Pistons for me. Has to be the Pistons, and they've definitely done a good job.
Look, I've been saying this all season that I kind of wish the Pistons would have been the third seed because the Pistons deserved the third seed, but nope. New York had to be New York. Lose all 10 games to the top teams in the East and in the West. Yep, they had to be the third seed, but no, I'm happy for Detroit because the Lions made the playoffs last year, the Tigers made the playoffs last year, now the Pistons do. So I don't know. It's definitely a good time to be a Detroit fan if you live in Detroit.
100%.
As far as the Bucks go, you're in trouble.
Speak on it.
You don't know how healthy Dame is going to be. You don't know how healthy Giannis is going to be. You don't know if Kyle Kuzma is going to be the Kyle Kuzma that you trade for. I don't know. I think this Bucks team is in trouble, and I think the Bucks lose in 5 to the Pistons.
Ooh, that's a tough shout, Bucks
They don't face the Pistons though. I don't think they're on their side.
No, it's them versus the.
They've got the
Oh,
Pacers.
the Pacers. Okay. Well, either way, the Bucks lose in 5 to the Pacers. But I would say like if the Bucks made it past the Pacers and somehow made it past the Cavaliers and if somehow the Pistons made it past us, then yeah, the Pistons would beat the Bucks anyways.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I don't think the Pistons get it that far.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. But hypothetically, if they do, and it's the Bucks and the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals, then
yeah, then it would be Pistons. I would, definitely. They're a much better team than, especially with the defense and the physicality that they play with the Pistons. I think that's the biggest thing that they've been about this season. Obviously, last season they were one of the worst teams, but now they've actually nurtured the talent. They've made some good moves as well, and I think they're becoming what they used to be, bad boy Pistons, and I think they're getting back to that. And I like that, and we need more of that in the NBA. So I kind of like the way Detroit play.
And they have a former Cavaliers coach that knows everything. So yeah. So
well, he came in and turned everything around for them.
I think the Pistons get past the Knicks in 5 games. I don't see this going 6 or 7. I think the Pistons win it in 5.
Fair enough. We're going from and then the Bucks. They obviously won the in-season tournament. There's not going to be like it's not really for me. It doesn't tell you the overall picture of the season. Like I think last season we saw with the Lakers, they won the in-season tournament and they got eliminated in the first round by Denver. Like it doesn't tell you the whole picture of where you are as a franchise or as a team because they're all one-off games. They're not games that determine your entire season. So Look, I will say this about them: they're definitely gonna. I think this is the year they make it past the first round. For me, I think this is the year I think the Bucks make it past the first round. Do I think the Bucks have a genuine shot at the NBA title? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure because for the Bucks to get out, right? To get out of the first round, let's say they beat the Pacers, right? They're gonna have to go and face potentially
Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland. I think they play Cleveland, no? Or they play. Or hold on, do they play Cleveland?
Okay, so I got the picture saved here. So looking at this, it would be the Bucks versus the Cavaliers because the Bucks and the Pacers are on the Cavaliers side of the bracket.
Yeah. I think Bucks would have a better chance than the Pacers to beat Cleveland just because the level of talent they have, and if they can get Giannis and Dame healthy for the second round, if they get past the Pacers, but with the health issues, as we discussed, I think it's going to be very hard for them to get past the Pacers.
Yeah.
If they get past them, then they can go all the way to the final and probably lose to Celtics. They'll probably lose to the Celtics.
And Kane, you said the main word right there, health. Because if Dame and Giannis are not healthy during that Pacers series, that series against the Pacers is not going 5; it's going 4.
Yeah,
and
sweet.
just to say about last season, right? If this was last season, I would tip the Pacers to win because last year the Pacers had the Bucks number. I'll be real. Every game that the Pacers played the Bucks, they literally destroyed the Bucks. And I'm like, surely the Pacers have to go through against Milwaukee this year. But then again, you could also make the case that Milwaukee had injuries last year. Even if they were fit, I still take my pick on that. Say Indiana will go through. But this year will be a bit different. I think Giannis has definitely gone up a notch. I think he's definitely been, for me, I think if you look at overall stats and overall numbers, not just eye test, right? If you look at overall, he's definitely been the best player in the East in terms of numbers, in terms of everything. If you ask me who I think the best player in the East right now is I'm gonna be biased, it's Jason Tatum. But in terms of the way he's carried that Bucks team to a decent position in the playoffs, or a decent position to get to good, or I would just say it in terms of how they want to progress in the playoffs. I think 5th seed is respectable for the Bucks, although like I said, they should be higher with the team they have. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure how the Pacers will pan out this year, but I'm gonna back Milwaukee. But we'll give our predictions again next week in terms of the playoffs, or this weekend in terms of when the playoff pictures is done. I think we're gonna give our previews completely and everything. But definitely, definitely is this one to watch. This series is definitely one to watch. And looking at their regular season records, both of them are very, very, very close to each other. The records speak for itself, and they were just there or thereabouts to each other. They were just about there, like 2 games behind each other, the Bucks and the Pacers. So it just tells you everything you need to know about them this season. And yeah, no, like I said, I think Giannis in terms of numbers has definitely carried that Bucks team. He's definitely been the best player in the East in terms of numbers. But yeah, no, I'll give my prediction next week. But yeah, this is very, 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 this is very interesting. Let's talk about. Let's talk about that. Let's go to the West now.
Wait, I would like to ask.
Go on, of course.
Question. In terms of the East bracket, was there any teams that you expected to be part of either the playoffs or the play-in that are not there? Any teams that you feel like this season?
Yes. King. You support them.
Of course, yeah, no, mine's the obvious one, but I know my team.
Bro, I thought you guys would be a top 4 seed. I can't lie. I thought you'd be a top 4 seed, bro. The Sixers had Paul George, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, but you had a solid roster, and it just they've definitely let me down in terms of how I thought their season would turn out. But yeah, no, I just think if there's anyone else like in the East, you could maybe make a case of Brooklyn because of the way they started the year, the way they started the season. I thought Brooklyn looked really, really good. I thought they actually, because Jordi Fernandez has come in, right? He's actually changed the way that what do you call the Nets definitely look. They're definitely going for a younger roster. Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas. You know, they've got Nick Claxton. They've got, you know, they've got a good young roster there, I would say. So it's definitely one to look for. It's definitely one to look to in the future and be like, do you know what, this Nets team could definitely grow, and it could definitely be a problem in the future. But if I'm looking at this Nets team right now, and I'm saying, that are they ready? I would say no. I wouldn't think they're ready to compete. But I think they've definitely missed out on a potential play-in spot, because there's another team that they've actually turned their season around, and it's Chicago. Because we all thought Chicago were gonna get eliminated. I thought Chicago would be taken down by the Sixers. I thought the Sixers would take Chicago's place, right? And I thought Chicago would drop out because of the way they traded Zach LaVine. They've let go of DeMar DeRozan. Look at the team that they have. Fair play to Mateus Vezelius, he stepped up. Fair play to Kobe White, he's definitely stepped up. Josh Giddey's come in, he's definitely looked good for them. So, like I said, fair play to the Bulls. But yeah, like I said, King, in the East, I think Sixers missing out is a massive disappointment. And I know you don't want to hear it, but it is a complete letdown. I want to know your thoughts on your season, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think in terms of comparing to last season, it's been shocking. It's been a shocking season. It's made me doubt the process that we've had over the past years, and I think the Paul George acquisition was a mistake for me personally. I think in terms of it kind of unbalanced our team, and we have two of our best players in terms of George and Embiid were dealing with injuries the whole season, and it's if you've got guys that aren't available for most of the games, you're not going to win anything. Especially in the league where it's so tough that every team has two dogs in there that can get 30, 40 points. They've got different things in these teams. So Maxey can only do so much. So without Embiid and George for most of the season, a plethora of injuries, and especially Embiid, the fact that he's even talking about, I can't do back-to-backs, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's an issue that you like if your best player is that bad. Another team we can talk about in the West has that same issue, but 76ers, I think, for me, were one of the most shocking teams in the East. Another team that I thought of when it came to, I expected maybe they could have been there is the Raptors. I think in terms of the level of talent they have, I thought they would have at least made a play-in spot. I think if I'm a Toronto fan, I think I'm expecting more of my team going forward, because they've got a lot of talent there. They've got too much talent not to be ahead of some of these teams, especially like the likes of.
Watch out for next year, though. I think they'll definitely be in the play-in. Sorry to cut you off there. I think they'll definitely be a top playoff team next year. I think, or not top playoff team, but I think they'll definitely sneak in next year. And another underrated shout, which I will give later on as well. But sorry, but I'll let you finish on this one. I just want to say Toronto Raptors will definitely make the playoffs next year, in my opinion. I think they've definitely got the squad too. They've definitely got the roster too. They've added Brandon Ingram now. They have what's his name again? Jakob Poeltl. They have Grady. They have Scotty Barnes. They have a good team. They have a good team, but they've definitely been a letdown. And I like their head coach. He seems like a very ruthless guy. I think he'll definitely be a head coach in the future. Like you know what, top teams will want him in the future potentially. And I think, but yeah, like I said, Toronto, I agree with you, bro. Sorry, go on, and I'll let Justin go on as well afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's not much else that I could say. I just think Toronto need to do better next season. I think they should be up there. I think they're much better than some of the teams that are in the play-in. Especially for me, I think they're better than Miami right now. They're better than in terms of the actual, like if you like actually look at what they have, they can do with that. I think next season they need to do a lot better and at least try and make play-in or even try to attempt to make the playoffs because I think they have the level of talent to do that. And I think them and my team, the 76ers, have been big letdowns for me in the East.
Fair enough. Justin, you wanna continue to that? Continue from that, I believe.
Yeah. Let me go look at the Eastern stands quickly here.
Of course.
So I think the top 5 teams for me that I think should make the playoffs or play in next year: Canes, 76ers, Toronto Raptors, Brooklyn Nets, Charlotte Hornets, and Washington Wizards.
Okay.
I really do think that Washington was a lot better than Chicago this year, even though I didn't look it on paper or in the standings. I think Charlotte was a lot better than Miami that was in the play-in, even though I didn't see it, even though I didn't look it on TV. I think Toronto was a lot better than Atlanta.
Right.
And I honestly do think that, let's see, I said Charlotte, Toronto, Washington. I think Brooklyn was a lot better than the Orlando Magic, to be fair. However, I do agree with Kane. This Paul George acquisition was a lot worse than when Philadelphia had Al Horford. He didn't do jack shit for the Philadelphia 76ers.
He didn't. And he should have.
And he should have. And I think it's the same thing with Paul George. Paul George is not doing anything for the Philadelphia 76ers except for getting hurt all the time. And the 76ers beat the Celtics at TD Garden on Christmas. That was your NBA Finals right there, Kane. That was your NBA Finals right there. If you guys had built off that momentum right there, you guys would have been in the playoffs by now. But no, Joel Embiid had to go out and get injured for the rest of the season, and then Paul George had to get injured for the rest of the season, and then Tyrese Maxey had to get injured for the rest of the season. Dude, you guys gotta do something, or else you guys are gonna be the 15th seed again come next season.
No, that's one worry for the Sixers. I think. Do you know what? I'll make a comment. I think Nick Nurse has to go. I personally don't think he's been good enough for the Sixers. I think there's been a lot of questionable, decisions he's made over down the stretch. It's not just him; it's your front office as well. The Sixers have definitely made so many questionable decisions over the years. You've got you chose to keep Tobias Harris instead of Jimmy Butler. Like, where's the logic behind that?
Even though Tobias Harris is in Detroit right now.
And I can tell the disappointment in your face because I know how it feels. Because the Celtics decided to let go of my guy Lonnie Walker, and I was let down by that. But we'll save that topic for another day, anyways. But yeah, like I said, Sixers. Hey, I can tell you right now. That was terrible. Genuinely,
and Kane, I say that in the nicest way possible because I really want Philadelphia to do good next year. I really do. I really hope this Cooper Flag, if you guys get Cooper Flag for Philadelphia, I really hope he can do a lot better than Paul George. I really hope.
It's going to be difficult to get Cooper Flag because we don't have the worst record. I think if we can get someone in the draft and build around Maxey, around Jared McCain, because he was injured for the majority of the season as well, and bring in a young guy, I think from this draft class as well, and then eventually we're gonna have to get rid of Embiid and Paul George for the long term, because I think Paul George, I don't think he has the ambition to be a great player at the moment. Cares more
Right.
about his podcast, and Embiid is just too injury prone. And
Yeah,
you can't have that as your star guy, because
no,
half the
The way
games he's gonna be out.
The way he cares
right,
more about
and dude, Kawhi Leonard was a lot more healthier than Paul George. How crazy is that?
Yeah,
and look at the Clippers now. Bro. They've got automatic playoff position because of Kawhi staying healthy. It's always. Do you know what it is with the Clippers? They're always so. We'll get to them more in a bit, right? I just want to make this point. We'll go back to the Sixers, right? They're always such an up and down team because it's always like they always have to rely on Kawhi to stay fit. They always have to rely on James Harden to stay fit. They always have to rely on fucking what's his name?
Zubac.
They had to rely on Paul George to stay fit themselves last year. Don't forget that. So it's been such an up and down season for the Clippers, and they got the playoff position that I think they deserve towards the end. So, but yeah, back to the Sixers anyways. I'll make my point on this one, yeah? You letting go of Jimmy Butler over the years, right? Bringing in what'd you call? What's his name? You have to help me on this one. Bringing James Harden as well.
Yep.
What was the plan behind these moves? And what have they done? They've gone and they've dipped. You see, the Sixers front office is a massive problem in my opinion. I think if you sort out your front office, you'll definitely be fine in the future. I think, like I said, I think Nick Nurse. Okay, he's a decent head coach, but I don't think he's good enough for what the Sixers are aspiring to be. Whether your future is with Joel Embiid or not, which I think you will. I think Joel Embiid will stay. I don't see any reason why you should leave, because he's definitely the franchise guy, right? You've got Jared McCain coming through. You've got Yabusele. You have what's his name? Tyrese Maxey. Council. Like the roster is there for the Sixers to definitely get a lot better. You definitely have a good young roster for sure. But my biggest issue is, and it's always been this way, it's the decision making off the court. It's the decision making from the front office to the management, and I don't see the Sixers. And that's been the biggest issue, and that's what I think let you guys down this season massively. There was no plan to bring in Paul George. I don't know what the reason was. If it's for marketing purposes, I'm sorry, or if it's for business purposes, then I think you guys have definitely let yourselves down. You've definitely let yourselves down. Not only that, Joel Embiid not being fit this year. Joel Embiid not being healthy. Another one. Right? Tyrese Maxey not being healthy. Jared McCain, potential rookie of the year, massive letdown. He's not a letdown in terms of what he's been, but in terms of what happened to him for the remainder of the season, because he could have easily been, and for me, he should have been rookie of the year if he was healthy the whole year, 110%. Yabusele, former Boston Celtics center, drafted by the Boston Celtics, coming to the Sixers. That's a good move. Very good move by the Sixers. So I can't really name much that the Sixers have done well, and the front office and the management have done. But do you have any more opinions? Do you have any more thoughts? Do you have any more things to say about it?
Yeah, I think the acquisition of was it Quincy Grimes from Dallas and Lonnie Walker were good additions. I just think we need to take our team and make our team younger, and try and move on Paul George at some point sooner rather than later if he has another season where he's not there, and then build around Tyrese Maxey. I think if we can build around Maxey McCain and whoever we pick up in the draft, and then especially with the pieces we have Kelly Oubre, we have Yabusele, we have Lonnie Walker and Quincy Grimes. So we have some good pieces that can be bench roles and do different things for our team. It's just about whether how it's we live and die on the health of Embiid, and that is going to be an issue going forward when he's your highest paid guy, when he's your franchise guy, and and unless there's a miracle thing that he becomes more healthier, or at least able to manage his minutes and get a backup big that can give him time and space to take off games and still win games, then maybe. But I think it's going to be a long shot for us to get back into the playoffs properly to where we want to be if our main guy is this injury prone at this level.
Fair enough. Justin, you want to add to that, or do you want to move on?
We're good.
All right. I was going to mention the team that I thought will definitely be a surprise package. Well, I think will be a surprise package next year, potentially. And I'm sure you guys might, and I think Justin has already mentioned them before. It's the Charlotte Hornets. Because I genuinely like their roster. I think LaMelo Ball is LaMelo Ball. He's a top player, right? But go look at their additions this season. They added Brandon Miller, right? They've added Yusuf Nurkic. They definitely have a team next year that could definitely fight for the play-in. I think they could definitely be a play-in tournament team next year. I think they're definitely in with a shout for next season. So listen, don't write the Charlotte Hornets off. I think next year they've definitely got a good shout. They've definitely got a good. I think they have a good rep next year. So yeah, we'll see about that. But I think we'll head over to the West. I don't think there's much to talk about the East now. In terms of January, in terms of up to February All-Star break, the Celtics slowed down and fell to the second seed quite far. Cavs just took the first seed by storm. The Knicks almost caught the Celtics at one point, but the Celtics just blew the Knicks out and took the second seed by storm. The Bucks, Knicks, like I said, the Bucks turned their season around after June. What am I saying? Sorry. Around April, May, June, it'll definitely be a good ending to the season, hopefully for these teams, Celtics and whoever, hopefully. But before that, in March and April, right, the last 2 months, I'd say you could arguably look at maybe. Oh man, the Pacers have definitely stepped it up. They've definitely looked like a team that could potentially fight for the semifinals. I think at best, semifinals could do well. I think the Bulls in the last month and a half have looked like a solid team. Magic, unfortunate with injuries this season. I think the Magic could have definitely been a top 5 team if it wasn't for injuries. They had Paolo out for a while. They had Franz and Mo Wagner out for a while. Wendell Carter Jr. was out as well. Jalen Suggs was out as well, if I'm not mistaken. So they definitely had a lot of injuries.
Mo Wagner is still going to be out until the beginning of 2025-26 season.
Yeah, because he suffered an ACL injury, I think, at the start of January, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. In my honest opinion, we think with NBA season, I'll give my predictions in next show, or potentially I'll give my predictions soon, but I'm backing my Boston Celtics to win it. I love the Celtics and I'm biased, so yeah. In terms of everything else, yeah, not really much to add. The Hawks have had a decent run up until they trade DeAndre Hunter to the Cavs, which I think was an L trade on the Hawks side, but definitely a plus on the Cavs because he adds to their bench depth, he adds to their quality. So yeah, I don't know how much to say on that. But let's head over to the West. All right, we've spoken about the East. Let's talk about the West. I think the surprising package this season has been the Lakers for me, and I know people will be like, "What am I talking about?" The Lakers were not projected to finish third. they were not projected to finish third. They were at least projected to finish, I'd say, play-in tournament team at best. If you ask me, that team, right, the Lakers that the Lakers have, was definitely a play-in tournament team at best for me. And the Timberwolves have been a letdown. Why would you trade away Karl Anthony Towns when you made the conference finals? You had a great shot to make the NBA finals. You've traded away your arguably your best player, second best player, and now look at your team. Clippers turned the season around with Kawhi being fit. Nuggets. Let's talk with the Nuggets. We need to talk with Denver because you all know what happened recently. They fired Michael Malone after delivering them a championship. In my opinion, right, they should build him a statue outside Denver. Seriously, I'm not joking. They should build him a statue. This guy, they're relevant because of him. I ain't even joking. The Nuggets are relevant because of him and Jokic. Right now, this season, in terms of today's NBA, they're relevant because of these two. Carried the Nuggets, and the disrespect to Michael Malone is crazy because he's such a good head coach. Genuinely, he's such a good head coach. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on all this because this for me is like it's really, it blows my mind because you're almost in the playoffs. Denver goes and fires Michael Malone. Memphis goes and fires Taylor Jenkins. What's the thought process in that? And not only they fired Michael Malone, they fired their GM as well. I want to hear your thoughts on this one, King. King or Justin, whoever wants to go first, go first. Don't mind.
Okay, I'll let you go first on this one.
I think it's probably one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen in my time watching NBA. If you're gonna get rid of someone, get rid of them in the summer where you have the potential to, bring someone in, actually interview guys, go through that process, and then for the fresh new season. But weeks before the playoffs, and not just and the fact is that you're in the playoffs as well, and you're a team that can win the championship. So. Yeah. With this coach, and for me, I think it doesn't make sense to get rid of both of them at the same time at this stage. If you're gonna make that if that's the decision you wanted to make, let the playoffs run and then see, and then as soon as you're knocked out, then make that decision because then at least there's a bit of stability. But I don't know what's happening in the background for Denver, and even with the Memphis situation, maybe the players didn't like the coach or GM or something. Maybe something happened that was outside of basketball that led to this clear out because it feels like it's bigger than just the team losing 4 games in a row. Because as you can see, top 4 in the West, in a very difficult West as well. They've got the Clippers, and it's going to be a very tough matchup. And I think this has probably stopped them from making it any further than the first round, really. I don't see them getting past the Clippers with what they have at the moment. And I think, what the biggest issue I have is with this modern NBA, especially, is that player power is a lot bigger than it used to be. And I feel like it comes to the similar situation with the Ja Morant situation with his silly little celebrations and stuff. These players have so much power, so much money, and so much kind of gravitas towards the league that they can make decisions that affect their organizations. Whereas the head coaches and the GMs, they're interchangeable. It's like you can get rid of them so quickly, and to have a head coach for 3-4 seasons is something of a luxury. To have someone be there for a long period of time is coming to like Premier League football is coming like that, where just coaches in and out, whereas there's no stability for these kind of top jobs. And for a guy that's won you a chip as well and built a great team and has the possibility of winning it this year as well, because you do have the team to do that and get out of the West. Yeah, for me, that could be the reason where Nikola Jokic may look to go elsewhere, or some of the the pieces that are towards the end of their contract could move on, because you don't want instability when it comes to your franchise, and to clear out like that just before the playoffs, it's mind blowing to me. I've never really seen this before. So I think Denver have just lost all their chances of making it far. It'll be a miracle if they get past the Clippers at this stage now, and I don't think there's a coach out there that they can bring in that will be as good as their previous one.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a bad decision overall. But that's all I got really to say on it.
I have to make this point, yeah, that we can I can tell you for sure that Nikola Jokic did not make this decision. He did not make this decision that we don't like the head coach anymore, fire him. There's no way that he would have made that decision. It's the front office who made this decision. They have just ruined the Nuggets season for me, because I thought the Nuggets, before all this happened, they were looking at the team that, for me, they were making the conference finals or even potentially going to the NBA finals. I think this was the team. Now, I think the chances are completely ruined. But I want to know your thoughts, Justin. I just want to give my quick thoughts. I want to know your thoughts on this one now.
The Nuggets, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, the Nuggets are screwed. Everything that King said, I 100% agree with. There's nothing more that I can say on this type of matter, except, yeah, you guys should just waited until you guys got eliminated to fire Michael Malone and your GM, because now, yep, no, Clippers are going to dominate you and destroy you.
I don't think there's much to add to that. I think you're spot on. And it's not just the nicest way possible, it's just being brutally honest. Like, just being brutally honest. The Nuggets literally did not need to do what they had to do. And it's just, I think they've just ruined their whole season. Look, I think Jokic can carry the Nuggets, but with the way Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers are playing right now, I don't know about that. Like I said, we'll give our predictions in full next week. But the Timberwolves. Let's talk about the Timberwolves, because they were the team that, for me, they were like top 3, top 2 in the West last season. And if I'm not mistaken, they were top 3, top 2, top 2. Fuck it out. I'm twisted there. The top 2 team in the West last season, wasn't it? They were a top 2 team. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were like second at one point. If I'm not mistaken, and they were battling for
I don't remember last year's standings. I know we were first, so.
Yeah, man, they made the conference finals last year, and they've traded away Karl-Anthony Towns. Do you guys think that was the trade, or do you think that sort of ruined the chances of the Timberwolves potentially being a force in the future? Or do you think they can still make a move that could change everything and potentially cause an upset?
Okay, here it is. This is last year's NBA stands. Thunder number 1, Nuggets number 2, Timberwolves number 3.
Right.
And Lakers were number 7. Now, this year, Lakers number 3, Timberwolves number 6. Yeah. I think Timberwolves still make it past the Lakers. I don't see the Lakers making it past the Timberwolves unless Luka Magic comes out in the playoffs and does some dark magic shit like the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know.
Eliminated by Timberwolves.
Yeah, I do.
Wow, that's a bold shout right there. That is. I'm not gonna call you crazy, because I hope you're right, but that is something that, you know what? Hey, listen. If that happens, like, I give you a props. But I just don't see it.
I have a feeling I'm gonna be wrong, but screw it. I'm just doing this to jinx the
Hey,
Lakers.
bro. It's predictions. Don't worry about it. You've got nothing to lose. Say what you like. Say what you like. No, but like I said, what do you think of the Timberwolves like as a whole? Because I think the Karl Anthony Towns trade ruined them. They shouldn't have traded away Cat, in my opinion.
Honestly, I think the Karl Anthony Towns made them better.
You think they were better with Karl Anthony Towns or better without him?
They're better without him.
You think so? I think they're better with him. You know.
If they were better with them, they would have never lost to the Mavericks.
Bro,
and the
go look at Anthony Edwards though. Like go look at the way Anthony Edwards was playing, because Anthony Edwards was literally balling out with Karl Anthony Towns last year. Do you remember he was having this great run? Like, and they were saying Anthony Edwards was better than Jason Tatum and all that. They were going like on him, like he's the next coming Michael Jordan and all like that. He was like saying, "Oh, young MJ, baby goat," and all this. I remember all that talk. What's happened to him? So what's happened to them this season? Do you think, King? Do you want to give your thoughts on the Timberwolves?
In terms of Timberwolves, I think the Cat trade was out of they didn't want to pay him, so that's really an ownership thing. If they don't want to pay the big man, which he would have got paid a lot, considering the season he had, yeah, they had to move him on. In terms of Anthony Edwards, I think that you build the team around him, but I think there's not enough pieces for that team to be anything more than just round one and done at this current stage. I don't really see the Timberwolves going any further than that. I think when you get rid of such a big piece, a big man that can shoot threes, that can do really much anything on both sides of the court, like Cat, it's very difficult for you to kind of replace that. And I feel Anthony Edwards will always get his, but it's just whether if the other pieces around him are going to do enough to actually lift him up, because he'll get his 30-35 points in the playoffs. He'll do his thing, and over the season you've seen that. But the reason why they lose a lot of games is because they don't have a tangible, really second or third option that you look at and say, yeah, no, they're gonna get buckets too. So for me, I think Minnesota are much a worse team. I mean, I think they pretty much finished where I've they expected to finish, probably, in regards to after such a trade. And they're coming up against one of the surprise teams in the Lakers. But it's not a surprise because of the Luka trade. It's just a surprise that trade actually happened. Because Lakers wouldn't be third in the West if it wasn't for that Luka trade. I think that changed around their season in terms of not just because of him as a player, but the momentum you get of getting such a player. It kind of boosts everyone around them. It kind of makes, and when you get a player that is that great, the players around him get that kind of boost. Oh wow, we're getting a top 5 talent. That's like when you get that big transfer in football, or when you get that big signing. When the Eagles got Saquon Barkley, that's probably the boost that they got, kind of to push them on to go all the way to get that Super Bowl, because you're bringing in a talent of that level that you never expected that you would have got. Dallas are still crazy for that, but I think when it comes to that matchup, it's going to be a very interesting one. But for me, another team that has surprised me is the Houston Rockets as well. I think they're a team that has overachieved compared to last season. They were a lottery team to now they're second in the West. I think in terms of such a competitive West, for them to be second and do it somewhat comfortably as well, I think is a testament to their coach and to the pieces that they brought into that team. Obviously, it's a former Celtics coach. Obviously, he left for not Celtics. What team was he at before Ime Udoka?
He was with the Celtics.
Was it Celtics?
It was Celtics. Yeah, it was Celtics.
Yeah, it was Celtics, and the controversy happened, and then they got rid of him.
Yeah, the controversy during the 2022 NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah. So he's a great coach. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league, and it's shown. And what he's done with that Houston Rockets team made them a very great team. So I think they're a surprise package for me as well. I think second and third are the two teams that I didn't expect to be there in terms of the start of the season. But in terms of Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards will become a top 5 superstar in the future. It's just whether if Minnesota organization is going to build a team around him, or is he going to have to make a move elsewhere to realize his potential? Because if they don't give him the pieces to succeed, he's definitely the type of talent that will look to move on. Maybe go South Beach, maybe go elsewhere that has cap space and has a young team that he can thrive in, because Minnesota's cold, so there's only so much you can want to stay there. You're not giving me anything. I'm cold now. No, I'm moving to somewhere hot. At least if I'm gonna lose, let me lose somewhere where nice weather. So
I love the way you just threw in there. Minnesota's cold.
Yeah. So for Edwards, I think he's that type of guy that he probably wants to go somewhere different if they don't build the team required to win around him, because of such a great talent he is as well, and he could move within the next couple seasons.
So let's just say this hypothetically: if the Lakers make it past the Timberwolves, I do not see them getting past the Houston Rockets or the Oklahoma. Wait a minute. I should be right about this. Yeah, I don't see them getting past the Houston Rockets. I don't even see the Timberwolves getting past Houston Rockets. So technically, it doesn't really matter who wins this series, because they're both going to lose to the Houston Rockets next round.
Yeah. Either Houston Rockets, or if by miracle Warriors pass the Rockets as well. I think it's gonna probably be Rockets make it all the way in that side of the group anyway. But we'll talk about that next week. But yeah, I think even if the Lakers make it second round, that's probably their ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
But they've definitely been like a surprise package for me this year, because looking at the way that they've because all three of us probably thought at the start of the year, like, Justin, I only got to know you this season, right? I don't know what your thoughts were at the start of the year. But the Lakers for me were like a lottery team. Not lottery team, my bad. Not lottery team, but like in a playing tournament team. That's what I thought they would be.
Honestly, I had them missing the playoffs.
Genuinely, you think so?
Yeah, I had the Lakers missing the playoffs until they did something really stupid and went to go get Luka Doncic.
Well, I don't think it was stupid. I don't think it was stupid. I think it was Dallas that traded away Luka, but it wasn't like.
True. Yeah.
No, but I actually thought Lakers were actually doing quite well with AD in the side. Anyways, I don't think it would have made much of a difference, to be honest. I think AD would have helped them more because he was playing. I think, you know what it is? I think the Lakers trade ruined AD's season because he was playing at an MVP caliber level. Because all this will go under the radar at Dallas right now, because look at the way AD is carrying Dallas. Look at the way AD's been, taking Dallas to, let's say, the playoffs. I genuinely think AD, right, with supporting cast around him, Dallas can be a force. If AD can stay fit with supporting cast around AD, Dallas can definitely be a threat next season for me.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the problem. Him and Kyrie have to stay fit.
Kyrie's having to be fit for another like 5-6 months.
Yeah. So yeah, and Dallas at the moment, if AD can go, the thing about this trade was, for the Lakers, they got a durable talent in Luka that can be there for the next 10 seasons, and AD's just injury prone. I mean, he got injured just after the trade, in his first game. So if anything, Lakers made the right decision because they got rid of an old injured talent that he is a talented player, but it's similar to the Sixers with Embiid. You live and die by him being fit and healthy or injured. And when he gets injured, you lose. When he's healthy, you have the potential to win, but
Yeah, because
it's never enough.
Because I thought when LeBron was going to leave, right, I thought they were going to pass on the keys to AD and let him be the franchise guy. But and you know it was looking that way up until whatever happened this season. So
yeah, craziness.
And yeah, I think that Luka Doncic trade is still, I'm still shocked by it. It still doesn't feel real that he's playing for the Lakers. I genuinely think Dallas Mavericks. We'll talk about Dallas again, right? But I'll make my last point on the Lakers. I think the Lakers have got really lucky to be where they are in terms of what happened to them and how they've been handed their season. Because without that Luka trade, I don't see the Lakers. Actually, I do see the Lakers being a top 5, top 6 seed, but in terms of their record, I don't think their record would be 15-32. I think their record would be at least 40. I'll say 40 and 40. Sorry, no, I would probably say 45 or something, a bit less than what they have right now.
Oh no, they'd be way less. They'd be a playing team just because AD would have got injured anyway. He's a ticking time bomb. He's gonna get injured. It's not if, it's when. You know, it's when is it gonna happen? And it happened a couple days later after the trade. So if they kept him AD playing team, that's what they would have been, and they probably would have just made it out of the play and then lost in the first round with AD. So Luka's a difference maker. He's a difference maker.
He's 100% a difference maker. Yeah. Justin, do you think without that Luka trade, like I think you already mentioned this, but do you think that Luka trade sort of, gave them the chances of winning the championship even higher now? Do you think it boosted the chances of completely going for it all this season?
Absolutely not.
You still think they have a lot more work to do, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
And it involves LeBron getting the hell out of Los Angeles.
Yeah. I think the Lakers are definitely going to look to that in the future. I think they're going to definitely think about maybe moving on LeBron James. I think they're going to give him like a year extension, I think, this year. If I'm not mistaken. I think from what they're hearing, from what I heard, I think he's going to get like a 2-year extension. I'm not so sure how true that was, but apparently he's going to get an extension, and I think the Lakers are going to hold on to him for another year or two.
Ugh.
And then he might wait for Bryce to enter the NBA, and maybe we'll see where happens there. But I think
Bryce is going. Bryce will go LA, and LeBron will probably retire there.
I'm just ready for LeBron to retire.
Yeah, he's got a couple more years, but he's going to retire. I don't think he leaves LA. I think he just retires. I think he plays one season with Bryce in LA. I think he does his magic in the background.
I will say this: the only way that the Lakers had a chance of winning the championship is if they had gotten Chris Paul on his final year of his career.
So you think if they add Chris Paul to the squad right now,
they would have had the championship, but Chris Paul's retiring, so he's going to retire without a ring.
He's staying.
No, he's retiring. I thought I heard him say he's retiring.
No, he's going to come back. He's going to come back to the Spurs next year. He said he's going to come back.
Oh. Okay. Well, wherever I heard him say he's retiring, then they didn't do anything. They didn't say it right.
I think we'll get updates. As we go. But let's talk about. Who do you want to talk about? We'll talk about the Warriors, the Houston Rockets making the jump. There's so much we could talk about. But there's one team I want to talk about right now that are not involved in anything this season. No draft lottery, no playoffs, no play-in, nothing.
Trailblazers?
Nope. The Phoenix Suns. We have to talk about the Phoenix Suns, guys. Because...
Why? Why?
Because there was so much expectation going for them at the start of the year. I thought the Suns would definitely be a top 7, top 8 team in the West. They definitely would have had to make the top 8 this season, in my opinion. They have to. Like that team that they had: Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. Right? Yes, their defense speaks for itself. But we have to talk about the way that they've been run over the last 2 years, because
Okay.
it definitely costed them
Uh,
a definite like playoff
oh,
run.
okay. Okay. Here's the problem with it.
Yeah,
Here's two people that are not not the problem. Two people that are not the problem for that team: Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Okay,
they're not.
those two are not the problem.
Yeah,
There's one person. There's one fucking person on that team that's a problem.
enable it.
Bradley Beal. I mean, come on. Does anybody in this comment section does anybody in on this panel think trading Chris Paul for Bradley Beal was the better move for the Phoenix Suns?
No,
That was so fucking stupid.
like genuinely, right? I didn't think, like, for me, like I mentioned before this already, right? I'll let King go after this. Yeah, I think the Suns should never ever have traded that finals team away. The team that made the finals 3 years ago, or four, or where it was 4 years ago.
2021, we're already in 2025.
I'm sorry, yeah. You trading away all that, DeAndre Ayton,
Yep.
trading your defense away, Cam Payton.
Yep.
What do you call it? Was it not Cam Payton? Was it campaign? What's the other guy's name?
Chris Paul.
Mikal Bridges, bro. Are you people forgetting Mikal Bridges was on the Suns and balling out on the Suns? Are we all forgetting he was there?
Yep.
Bro, the Suns have completely broken their team, man. Yes, they got blown up by the Dallas Mavericks, but that was a one-off. I think that was a one-off. I think Luka just had an incredible game, and it was so hard to stop him. But I think the Suns should have kept the same team the following year.
And now they fired Mike Budenholzer.
I think that was the right decision. I don't think he was a good appointment, anyways. I think if you ask me, I think they failed all their head coaches. The Suns in the past few years have failed their head coaches.
They should have never gotten rid of Chris Paul for Bradley Beal.
Who was the head coach after what's his name again? I'm forgetting his name. The coach that got into the finals. He was the coach of the Pistons as well.
Frank. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Vogel.
Was it Frank Vogel? What's his name?
I'm gonna have to Google this.
He was the Suns head coach.
I'm gonna have to Google this.
His name is ringing in my head, but I can't wrap my head around it. I don't know what his name was. Forgot.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
No worries.
Coaches. Monty Williams.
Thank you. Monty Williams, bro. They failed him. He took that team to the finals. Yes, albeit they faced an injured Lakers. They faced Snow is not injured Clippers, but they faced many injured teams. But even then, that team was good. That Suns team was very, very good.
Yeah, Monty Williams, 2019 to 20
as well. Oh, sorry. Go on. What were you saying?
Monty Williams, 2019 through 2023. Frank Vogel, 2023 through 2024. Mike Budenholzer, 2024 through 2025. 2025, we don't know yet.
I'll say this about the Suns, yeah. If you had given Frank Vogel that the team that the Suns had the year that they made the finals, I think they made the Western Conference Finals. Because I'm sure you guys all know this. Frank Vogel's specialty is defense. His like ideal game, his specialty as a head coach is defense. Wherever you guys go, wherever he goes, whichever team he's going to coach on, right? Go and look at all his team talks, team huddles, right? He always mentions defense. The Suns had that. The Suns had defense. They had DeAndre Ayton. They had, what was I gonna say? They had so many good players that I thought could definitely be a problem. And I was tipping the Suns to make the NBA Finals back to back. I thought the Suns would go back to the finals the following year, because I thought the Suns would be like, do you know what? Yes, we experienced our first final loss. Now we've lost our first finals. Now we're gonna go back. We're gonna go again. Why blow it all up? Why? You've now ruined your chances of even making the playoffs with Kevin Durant on your side. That's how embarrassing is that? Imagine having Kevin Durant not making the playoffs. Crazy. Genuinely crazy. The Suns need to take a hard look at themselves and be like, do you know what? This team is no longer good enough, and we need to, and we need to change it up again. Genuinely change it up again. That's what I think. But I don't know your thoughts. Both of your thoughts. I haven't heard from King yet, actually, from the Suns.
I think the Suns' biggest mistakes was bringing in Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. I think both of them were abject failures in regards to their team. I think they decided to go for a win now approach rather than trusting in their youth team that they had, and trusting in Devin Booker to become a superstar. Yeah. And I think because of that, they now have to blow the team up. I think they're one of probably 3 teams in the West that had really disappointing seasons for me for one reason or another. I think for me, the Suns are a team that need to go young again. They're probably gonna need a couple years where they become lottery team for a couple seasons, get a couple picks, rebuild their team, get rid of KD from draft picks, get rid of Bradley Beal for some draft picks and a couple younger players, make the team younger and build around Devin Booker. Because if they don't, then I don't think they have much of a future. And I think it's shown this season that Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal both don't want to be there at all. So. And they've let Devin Booker down. I think they've let a really talented guy down over the past 2-3 years, and I think they've kind of put their franchise into the toilet with the decisions they've made over the past 3 to 4 years in regards of the talent that they've let go. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, etc. So I think they've just been they went from a team that could have gone for titles to a poverty franchise, and yeah, I think in the modern day NBA, I don't think it's always the best thing to go for the big superstar. You see with the Sixers and Paul George, you see with the Suns and getting in Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, it doesn't work. You're better off building a team around young guys that you've traded in that have the potential to be great, rather than getting in the older superstars, because the league is getting younger and younger, and you don't have the license to spend money on older superstars that are injury prone, that are potentially not going to get you to where you want to be, and then you're looking like you made dumb decision after dumb decision. So the Suns have just been very poor, in my opinion, and it's been a poor season overall, not even making it into the play-in as well. Yeah, it's just disgraceful.
And also having the head-to-head over Dallas as well, potentially making the play and then missing out. You know what I mean? But yeah. Now I hear Justin. You want to continue with the Suns?
I don't think there's anything much we can say about the Suns.
The same question that King asked me earlier, right? Was there any team that kind of surprised that missed out? I said for the East was the Sixers. For the West, it's the Suns. But if there's anyone else? Oh, I'm trying to think, because
I have a couple teams for different reasons.
Go on.
In terms of unluckiness, for them to get injuries at the wrong time is probably the Spurs. I think Wemby going down at the time he did kind of ended your season altogether. So that was more just unfortunate, and I think it. Hopefully he can get fit again, and I think they have a really bright future. The other team is the Pelicans. That's another team that's dealing with a superstar that's very injury prone in Zion, out for most of the season, dealing with weight and things of that nature. They were the team that last season were a playoff team and this season aren't because of different factors. And I feel like they are gonna need to make sure that Zion keeps losing the weight, keeps going in the direction that he's going and becomes a more fitter superstar. Because if he doesn't, he's just gonna get injury problems and become like an Embiid. But I've liked him the second half of the season. I like the fact that he understands that he has an issue with the weight and he's taking it down and he's the skinniest he's ever been. So I think going into next season, they'll be a team that will be a problem in the West if they can keep Zion fit and healthy and he doesn't go around New Orleans eating the food. I know the food's good out there, but Zion, have a small plate, not a big one, and you'll be all right because that's going to be the biggest issue that you're going to deal with. And I think that's the reason why the Pelicans didn't make it at least minimum to the play-in, because I think they have the potential to be a greater team than they've shown this season.
I hear you about the Pelicans because I also thought that they were good. They were going to be a decent team this year with Zion. Bro, he has one of the most unluckiest players. Excuse me. Has one of the most unluckiest players I think you could ever watch in today's NBA. When he's back, guy balls out for like 3 games, gets injured, and then comes back again. Like 6, 7, 8, 10 games later, comes back again. He puts in a really good performance, bro. It's just with Zion Williamson. If this guy was fit, yeah. Where do you guys? If Zion was fit, right? If we could see a consistent version of Zion, right? What do you guys think of Zion as a player? Like, I think you know what, he still has something to offer this NBA. I still think he has something to offer. It's just the injuries just speak too much for itself, and like we always say, injury availability is the best ability, and he's just not. He's hardly available for his team. It's such a shame though that the players like him, so talented and so useful, can get constantly injured all the time. But I don't know, Justin. I want to hear your thoughts about the Pelicans and like whatever King said, because I genuinely think that, you know what, he does make a good point about the Pelicans, but also he does make a good point about sorry, King, was the other team that you made
Spurs.
that you made? Spurs. Thank you.
Spurs.
Yeah. Sorry. Go on. I want to know your thoughts, Justin.
I got nothing to say about the Pelicans right now because it's the same old story every single year. So I got nothing to say about them. However, I think the top 4 teams I think should have been in this. Of course, Phoenix. I think the Blazers should have been in there. I think the Utah Jazz should have been here.
Okay.
And I honestly think that the Spurs should have been here because let's be honest here. The Blazers and the Spurs are way better than the Kings and the Mavericks. The Mavericks should not even be here right now.
I wouldn't say way better. And just to point out about Dallas, right? They don't forget that team made the finals last year, and yes,
right.
And they had bums around Luka.
But they shouldn't be here.
To be fair with you though, if AD is doing this really good job of carrying them, fair play. Like genuinely fair play. Like he's actually done such a good job since coming back from injury, and like it just proves that when certain players are so good, they can stay healthy. They can be so dominant and so unstoppable and so really unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Like
I do. I think they got it right with the Warriors and the Grizzlies, but I think they got it wrong with the Kings and the Mavericks.
Okay. I hear it, but The Spurs, though, for me, like the one, like I think we can start with the Spurs. Like so very very promising start to the year. Looking like a team that was definitely going to make the playoffs. They didn't have a losing record. Wemby goes down with a blood clot injury. Get Russell Wemby, such a good player, talented. I think if you ask me, best rookie I've seen in the NBA for a very long time, and just goes down like that with the blood clot. It's such a shame, you know. And then you also add Chris Paul to that team, very very good, very very good player. Stephon Castle. Who else? Who else did they add? I can't remember who they added. Damn, I'm forgetting the Spurs roster. Like, do you remember who they added as well this year? They added Stephon Castle, but I don't remember who else they added.
What, the Spurs?
Yeah, they added some players this year.
It kicked me off for some reason. I don't know why.
But StreamYard's messed up sometimes. Don't worry about it. It kicked me out of my own stream too, bro. Trust me, it's crazy. Go on. Sorry, King.
No, I'm just checking. Let's see.
Because they added Stephon Castle. They added last year. They had or just bring out the Spurs roster. Actually,
they've got. Wait, it's not the full roster. So they drafted Stephen Castle, Rob Dillingham, Johnny Furphy, and Harrison Ingram. But in terms of, I think that's it. I don't think they traded. Did they trade for anyone?
De'Aaron Fox.
Oh yeah, De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, thank you, De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, we all thought that was gonna move. That move was gonna elevate that team, you know.
Oh yeah, that's the other one, De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I think the Spurs have been a letdown too, you know, and especially sad news about Greg Popovich and whatever. Unfortunately, with like he had to go, he had to, you know, miss the season with some illness, and I mean I don't wish, you know, I don't wish this on anyone. I wish this on my worst enemies, but I don't have any enemies. But if I had, then I wouldn't wish this on them. But it's sad to see what happened to Coach Pop, man. It's really sad because I genuinely think like he would have definitely done wonders with the Spurs team. He's got, for me, I think he's the second greatest coach in NBA history, behind Phil Jackson. I think he's definitely up there. So it's sad to see the NBA lose a familiar face and lose a massive name, massive figure in today's NBA as well. Because I think he was helping Team USA at one point as well in terms of like, you know, I think in terms of like when they went to the Olympics. Sorry, when they went to the Olympics, when they went to the FIBA World Cup. So I can only say that it's sad. Like, it's sad to see Coach Pop lose his, like, not lose his place, but like just see him end this season like that. You know, it's definitely going to be sad. So hopefully he does return soon. If he doesn't return, it's been great, like seeing him coach in the NBA, man. Such a top class coach. Arguably the second greatest coach ever. But yeah, the Spurs, unfortunate what happened to them this season. They've had a lot of injuries. I can relate to the Grizzlies as well. The Grizzlies last year, when they had all those injuries, their season completely fell apart. And now look at the Grizzlies this year. Apart from when they fired Taylor Jenkins, go look at the way they were playing. They were the third seed at one point, or even the second seed. My bad. That's how good they were, you know. So it just tells you how much injuries can play such a huge can you know take such a huge toll on your season. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the Spurs. Yeah, the Spurs have definitely been. I wouldn't say a letdown. It would be. It would definitely be sad. Not sad. It definitely be unfair to say a letdown, but it's better to say that they've been unfortunate. I say they're the most unfortunate team this season, if you ask me. But yeah, I don't know. I think they could argue Dallas could also be unfortunate because Dallas traded away Luka, and Nico Harrison ruined the fan bases and caused the protest outside the American Airlines Center or whatever it is. So yeah, Justin, you have any thoughts on this before we move on or whatever?
Nope,
King?
I'm all good.
No, nothing more, Tad.
Okay. I think we go to. Do we go to Memphis? Do we go to Houston? Sacramento? Let's just talk about all three of them at once, actually, because I want to do playing predictions already, and we'll do our awards predictions as well. I think the Sacramento Kings, excuse me, they had Zach LaVine. They added Zach LaVine, right? But ever since then, like, have they been dealing with a lot of injuries? I'm not so sure. You know. So, yeah, I think that's a letdown. The Kings are okay. To be fair to you, actually, no, it's not a letdown because the Kings are where they are for a reason. They're a decent team, but when they let go of, and actually, do you know what? I'm sorry, I keep flipping you on this one. Yeah, they also should not have fired their head coach. Another team that shouldn't have fired their head coach. And I'm forgetting his name.
Taylor Jenkins?
No. Sacramento Kings.
I have no idea. Mike Brown, maybe?
Yeah, Mike Brown. Thank you. Why fire Mike Brown? You know, they were, for me, that was the team that that was destined for a lot. Last season, the year before, they finished what, 5th in the West.
Mm-hmm.
They were destroying teams, light the beam and all of that. You know, the atmosphere in that stadium was great. In the Golden One Center was great. And just looking at the way that they've moved over the last few years, or the last season and a bit, I'd say they've definitely made a lot of questionable decisions that have costed them big time. So yeah, Justin, what are your thoughts on the Kings? Because Fox is now gone, Mike Brown's gone, right? Sabonis is still doing his thing. He's still getting out the numbers. DeMar DeRozan, has he been a questionable? Has he been a questionable addition to the team? And I want to know what do you think? What do you think has happened to them? And what do you think? What do you think of the season this year? Just give me your thoughts on this.
Basically, what I said about the Kings, I stand by. They shouldn't even be in the play-in. I don't really got much to say about the Kings except for that.
Do you think trading away De'Aaron Fox? Do you think firing Mike Brown and bringing DeMar DeRozan has kind of taken a huge toll on their season? And I don't mean to pin this. I don't mean to pin the whole blame and the whole, like I don't mean to pin everything on DeMar DeRozan. I don't think he's a bad player. I don't think he's been a bad addition. But in terms of the way the Kings have gone, do you think he kind of like ruined team chemistry whatsoever?
No, I think it was Zach LaVine.
You think Zach LaVine was the one that kind of ruined there?
Mm-hmm.
And what about firing Mike Brown?
It was gonna happen no matter what.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that so though?
Because they went in a playoff spot with Mike Brown. Now they are.
Nah, they were in the playoffs with Mike Brown last year. Last year they made the playoffs. I think they got
No, I
eliminated.
meant they weren't in a playoff spot right this season until they fired Mike Brown.
Yeah. So you think that was the wrong decision then?
No, that was the right decision.
King, you there?
Yep.
I want to know your thoughts on Sacramento Kings and just a bit about the Spurs as well.
As I said with the Spurs, they were just unlucky with the Wemby injury. Outside of that, I think they have a really good team. They'll be back next season. As for the Kings, um, it's weird because I think DeAndre Fox left because he
De'Aaron
didn't
Fox.
like De'Aaron Fox left because he didn't like the situation over there, which is concerning when a star player wants to leave and is forcing his way out. So that is concerning, and I'm not so sure what the future is for the Kings is. They've got some talented guys over there. Obviously, they got DeMar DeRozan and a few other pieces, but I don't know what their future is. I think they have a great fan base like the Beam and that, but I just think they're destined just to be a team that either makes out the play-in or just makes out the first round, really. But not much else really I can say on them. They just need to find an identity with their team and probably look in the summer to make some moves going forward. But I don't know. Some people would say the DeRozan move kind of affected the team as well. But they've got him, they got Levine, they've got some good pieces. It's just if they can get it to work, because they've got a losing record, which is bad in the West. So they're just lucky that other teams didn't live up to their potential. I don't think they would have made the playoffs this year if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
So
Which other team do you want to talk about? There's a lot of teams we can talk about. There's still some more teams. I think in the East we still haven't spoken about the Cleveland Cavaliers and the jump that they made. We still haven't spoken about OKC, Houston, and there's not much we can say about Utah. Not much we can say about the Blazers. I think the Blazers are a good young team that I think they'll definitely be back next year. If they're the ones who get Cooper Flag, fair play. Like they're the ones for me that definitely be back next season. I think they'll be back next season for sure. The Blazers, the Warriors. We haven't spoken of the Warriors yet. Which team we want to go to next? There's so much we can go to.
speak on the Warriors. Speak on the Warriors.
Yeah, well, we should speak about Golden State because Golden State at the start of the year, they were looking like the team that, for me, I think they were a surprise because I thought their record was so much like I thought the record was very surprising at the start. I thought they were doing well, they were getting results, but they then fell into the inconsistency trap or the inconsistency hole, and now ever since then they've just looked very 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 off key. And afterwards, when they made that Jimmy Butler trade, because me and King was spoken many times on the trade that Jimmy Butler should be going to the Warriors. I think that would suit him so well. And speaking of Jimmy Butler, I think he's dealing with an injury now. He's dealt with an injury now. I think he's gone down with an. I'm not going down with an injury, but I saw him limping yesterday after the Clippers game, so that could definitely be an issue. What do you think though of the Warriors? Because I think that they've let themselves down at the end. They could have definitely been a automatic qualification. Like they could have sealed the automatic qualification in the playoffs, and I think they've let themselves down at the end. just fell short of making the playoffs automatically. But now they have to do with the play-in. So I want to know both of your thoughts. Justin, I'll go to you first on this one. Just give me your thoughts on the Warriors as a whole.
I will say getting rid of Klay Thompson was stupid.
You think?
Sorry, I'm kind of blanking here because everything that you said, I agree with because I really don't have much left to say about the Warriors except that
Fair enough, King.
if Jimmy Butler is injured, then and if Jimmy Butler misses tomorrow's game, then it's not going to be the Warriors versus the Rockets. It's going to be the Grizzlies versus the Rockets, I believe.
Okay. I hear it. King?
No, I agree with that. I think they live and die by Jimmy. I think he's added a different dynamic to that team because he allows them to be able to hit you on the outside and on inside. So I think they're a much better team when him, Curry, Draymond, and them all play together because then it gives you multiple options. Either you have to follow Jimmy inside or you have to follow Curry. So it kind of adds more options in terms of the way they can play together as a team. I think that was a very good acquisition by the Warriors. And they're unlucky to be a playing team rather than a round one. I would have loved to see them versus the Lakers in terms of a series. I think that would have been a great series. Curry versus LeBron. That would have been sensational. But yeah, if Jimmy's out,
that'd have been popcorn settings, bro.
Yeah, if Jimmy's out, then they're out. That's playoff Jimmy has to be there. But outside of that, I think the acquisition was a good one. It kind of made them a much better team overall, and I think gave them a better shot of being at minimum a playing team, Jimmy. So, but they're also an aging team, so I think they only have. I think maybe they have 1 or 2 more seasons in them before they have to maybe move on from Curry, Draymond, and all them guys and look to the future.
I don't think they'll ever move on from Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry's going to retire.
But in a couple of years he'll retire.
Yeah, but I don't see any reason why he'll retire. Sorry, why he'll leave Golden State. I think he has no reason to leave Golden State. I think Golden State is the right place for him to retire. Where it all started, you know, you hang your jersey in the rafters. You hang your all your career is going to be celebrated by the team that drafted you, and you celebrate your career with, like I said, the team that you've done everything with. So yeah, it's basically like a Ryan Giggs. You know what I mean? Like Ryan Giggs when he was at United, when he was bought by United, promoted by United, stayed with United from the very, very start, won everything with United. Steph Curry's done the same. Warriors done everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if Ryan Giggs is the best example, but of like a one club man, one franchise man. But I'm sure you know what I mean, King. Like he's definitely been. You're on mute, bro.
Yeah, he's definitely been Warriors. The Warriors has been synonymous with him. He gave them multiple championships. So yeah, they're probably just gonna retire him in a couple years. But you know, this business is ruthless at the same time. So if Golden State think maybe, oh no, we need to move on pieces, I think maybe not Curry himself, but other pieces around him probably have to get moved on because they're gonna have to refresh that squad at some point.
I hear it. Let's move on to let's quickly recap over these teams. I think Memphis, like I said, injuries kind of let them down last year. This year they've been on the up because of fitness. Timberwolves, Timberwolves, sorry. Let's talk about the Houston Rockets a bit. Houston, like Ime Udoka has come in, and look at them now. He's definitely been a a massive a definitely like a huge positive for them. He's a great head coach. I can speak firsthand because I know the Celtics had him, and they almost won a championship with him in his first year, which unexpectedly he made the finals. Like, fair play to him. But look, I think the Houston Rockets don't look as great as they do. I don't know why. I don't know why I think like this, but the Rockets just don't look that team. I know they finished second, but if they come up against like the Lakers and Nuggets, or if they come up against like, for example, Warriors, I don't think they're getting past them. I don't see them getting past. I don't see them getting past those teams that I've listed. Clippers or OKC as well. I don't know why I think that, but it's just my. I just don't know. Whenever I watch the Houston Rockets, they just look like they don't have a proper. They don't have like a organized. Well, not well organized team, but they don't. But they have like they don't have a consistent score. I watched them against the Lakers a bit, and I'm like they look like they're struggling. They cannot get past a team that has great defense. It's about size, and I think Rockets lack size. That's the biggest issue. But I want to know your thoughts, both of you, on the Houston Rockets.
The Rockets are just a great team. They're just one of those ones. They've got a lot of like good pieces. They just don't really have any outstanding like players at the moment. They've got guys that have the potential to be great, with Sengun and players of that ilk. But they're just a good defensive team. I think there'll be a problem. I think they'll probably get past the first round, and then I think there'll be an issue for the. I think if the Lakers get through, there'll be an issue for the Lakers because I think defensively they're solid. They've got guys that will get in your head with the likes of Dylan Brooks and stuff like that. So I just think. I think they're not there yet. They're not there yet. They do have one of the Thompson brothers as well, who both of them are balling out as well. So
yeah,
they they're on the cusp of greatness. They just need to find that next step. Maybe look to focus on their young talent, and they have the right coach to do that. And they have the blueprint when it comes to the Cavs and the Thunder in terms of young teams growing together and maybe adding one piece or here or there, adding one superstar just to elevate that team to the next level. But overall, they've got a quality squad. There'll be a problem in the West for years to come. I like what they have, and they pretty much deserve to be second best team in the West. And yeah, they've turned around their team from what they were to now, and I've liked everything they've done. And I think they're a surprise package in the West when it comes to how far they can get to as well. I think they may surprise a few, especially if they do get Warriors in the first round or at least. I think they'll be that round will probably go 6 or 7. I think, and they may even get through. And then when they get Lakers or Timberwolves, then can go either way. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with them. But I like their coach. I think they have one of the better coaches. So if you have a great coach, then I think he can get you further than a team without a coach or a team with a temporary coach. So,
Justin.
Yeah, everything that Kane just said that I again 100% agree with. The only thing that I don't agree with is I don't know. They should not have Dylan Brooks on this team.
I hate him. I genuinely hate him, bro. Like bro, that day he fucking hit 10 threes on the Celtics, bro. Like crazy. How does he, bro? One off, like that was a one off for me. Like he just pulled off a madness that day. So yeah, I don't know what happened exactly. Yeah, Rockets. Like I said, I'm not totally convinced by them yet, but they've definitely got a decent like young core. I think they could definitely build on Jalen Green, Upper Chingoon. I mean, they have experience at Fred VanVleet. They definitely have experience there, but I don't know about all the. I just don't know if they're ready to compete. Like I don't know if they're ready to compete for a championship yet. That's my only question. But we'll see. Moving on. There's one. I don't know who else we're missing out on. We haven't spoken about the Thunder, Cavs, and the Celtics yet. Only 3 teams that got 60+ wins this season. Where do you want to start? Let's just like go quick brief on Thunder and Cavs. I think they deserve our respect. I think the Thunder deserve respect because, like, over the years, we saw the Thunder. Like, I remember that one year they had like 17 first-round picks or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, which was like crazy. So and looking at the team that the Thunder are built now, SGA is a superstar. They have Jalen Williams. They have Chet Holmgren. Go look at that team now. That team almost stormed the NBA. It almost took the NBA by storm. Almost got 70 wins. Like, it was surprising to see, but they have a better record than the Celtics last year. And I still think the Celtics last year are better than the Thunder team, but I don't know. I want to know both of your thoughts on this one. Just quick thoughts, and then we'll move on to the Cavs and the Celtics.
Yeah, go ahead, Kane.
I would group Thunder and Cavs as same for me. I think they both had great seasons. I think they have the same issue. I think it's just can Donovan Mitchell and SGA lead their teams to the chip? That's the kind of question.
One player. They're heavily reliant on one player.
Yeah, that's the question both these teams have. That's the question both of these teams need to answer. They're they're both young teams. They both got great records. They both have great pieces. But can they do what is necessary to get to the at least to the Western and Eastern Conference Finals and then go beyond that? Can they do it? Who knows? That's the question that they have to answer. And that's really what it is for both of those teams. I think there's not much else I can say on that. But Justin, go ahead.
You pretty much took everything that I was gonna say. Can I just say that I agree with Kane?
Yeah, but add a bit of your your initial thoughts as well. Like, what do you think of them as a whole? Like, just
who, the Thunder or the Cavs?
Both. Let's talk about both. I think both have had an exceptional season. I think both had an equally good season.
Okay. They did not need the trade for DeAndre Hunter.
Right.
However, the Thunder did not make any moves this season. Look what that got them. So, yeah, I don't think the DeAndre Hunter trade was necessary for Cleveland, but hey, who am I to say?
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly give my thoughts on this one. The Thunder and the Cavs, equally good season. I think both of them were, for me, the favorites at the start of the year. I mean, not favorites at the start of the year. They were both, like, let's say, not favorites. Sorry, I wouldn't say favorites. They're one of the favorites. But the Cavs heavily rely on Donovan Mitchell. Such a great player, by the way. Donovan Mitchell is, like, he's such a class player to watch. And SGA as well. Like, he, for me, should be MVP at least. The way Thunder have been playing all year, the defense, the Cavs have a great defense. Thunder have a great defensive team. These two teams would have got 70 wins, both of them, if they had that had continued for the whole entire year. But look, teams can wear out throughout the regular season because you play too many games, and then for me, it's like you're almost as if like you have to play every single game like as if it is a final. It's not. The regular season is just for you to get to the playoffs. You need to get to the playoffs through the regular season, obviously. So I just don't really see why. I really have much to say on these two teams. I think that they're solid teams. they definitely earn our respect. I think we have to put a respect on their name because I think we didn't expect the Cavs to finish on top. I thought the Cavs would be at least third or fourth seed. I I didn't give them much respect at the start of the year, which but I think I should now. It should be Cavaliers should at least be the conference make the conference finals. So should the Thunder. Thunder should definitely be there as well. The Thunder should definitely be there. The Thunder should definitely be in the conference finals as well. So yeah. I think we'll talk about two more teams. Let's just quickly go. I'll quickly miss out on every team. Let's just quickly mention every single team. But we should talk about every single team. At the end of the day, it's NBA, right? We should talk about every single team. We should definitely talk about everyone, and equally and fairly. Jazz complete letdown. Will Hardy's a good coach. But I can tell you that firsthand. He was assistant coach of the Boston Celtics. But other than that, he's just not. He's been let down. He has a good talented team in his front of him, but he just needs to have a good draft, and we'll see. Wizards expected to be where they were. Honestly, didn't expect much from them this year. Hornets, unfortunate what happened to them. I mean, LaMelo Ball's gone down with injury. He's like I said, next season they should be a team that's underrated next year. Underrated shot for next year's playoff push with Brooklyn. And another team that for me I think are under the radar. Portland, if they can fix their if they don't go in purple patch runs and they can actually draft well this offseason, I think they can definitely be a play-in tournament team next year. Toronto, I already mentioned them. Phoenix, we mentioned them. Miami Heat, we can talk about them with Jimmy Butler all year not being available. They are where they are for a reason. I mean, Miami Heat are not they're not a great side, but they're a good side. I think Tyler Hero is a good player. Bam Adebayo is a very, very solid set. I think he's a top 6 center in the NBA for me. He should definitely there should be more respect earned for them players. But for me, Miami where they are, they don't have a consistent scorer. So yeah, Chicago stepped it up in the last month and a half. Atlanta, they look decent. I mean, Trae Young. Trae Young has definitely been a player that has carried them over the years. Letting go of DeAndre Hunter has kind of let them down. It's kind of let them down. I don't know know what to say on them, to be honest. I mean, DeAndre Hunter is letting go of DeAndre Hunter when they have a solid team. Dyson Daniels, they have Jalen Johnson. You know, these two players have definitely been good additions to Atlanta, and they'll definitely be a frustrating team to watch in the playoffs because whoever they come up against, right, it'll be frustrating to see them because they're gonna make a lot of steals. And knowing Dyson Daniels and knowing Jalen Johnson, they've definitely turned up against the Celtics this season. So we'll see. Hopefully, it doesn't happen in the playoffs. But if that's the case, don't know. I don't know who else to talk about actually. Do you guys have any ideas apart from Knicks? Okay, Knicks. That's the last thing that we talk about. The Knicks. Justin, you want to go on this one? Knicks, Clippers, and Pacers next.
Okay, I'll get all three out of the way quickly. Knicks should not be number 3 seed. They should have been like the 7th seed.
Okay.
Clippers, I think, should have been the 3rd seed because they are way better than the Lakers. Pacers, to me, should have been a play-in team. I don't know. That's just that. And in my opinion, I think the only team that deserves the number 3 seed out of the 3 teams I just said are the Clippers.
King, you want to go next? There's 3 teams that we are left to talk about.
Oh, what are the 3 teams? What, Knicks?
Clippers, Knicks, and Pacers.
Clippers, Knicks, and Pacers. Yeah.
In terms of Knicks, they've got a good starting 5, but not much depth like that. So I don't know how far they'll go. They've overachieved this season, but I think getting Cat in was a big deal for them. So I think that's helped them in terms of their team. Their starting 5 is really solid. In terms of the Pacers, not much really to say on them. They're just a middle of the way team. I don't know. The matchup with the Bucks is going to be an interesting one. I think that's going to be a good series to watch. And then the final team is the Clippers. I think the good thing the Clippers did was they've kept Kawhi healthy towards the end. He limited his minutes, limited his games in terms of back-to-backs and things of that nature. James Harden has balled out. Norman Powell has balled out. So I think they're going to be a team that's going to be a problem, especially if they can get to the second round. I think Thunder are going to struggle against that team. And it will be an interesting matchup if the Thunder and Clippers face each other in the second round. But yeah, not much else really to say on those 3 teams. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mentioned the Clippers earlier. Kawhi staying healthy is what's important. James Harden staying healthy is important. Zubac staying healthy is important. Pacers stepped it up second half of the season. I think first half of the year they're a bit inconsistent. Unfortunate loss in one of those games where in a thriller against the Lakers, I remember they were so close to winning, and then they were just, and then LeBron scored like buzzer beater against them. It was like, do you know what? Fair play. The Pacers can be competitive, like they actually be a competitive team, but it's just they score a lot, but the defense is poor in my opinion. I think they just score a lot. Like that's the only good thing about the Pacers and the Knicks. The addition of Cat has been good. Jalen Brunson is balling out. Like I think the Knicks just have to do their job and try and get past the Pistons. I think the Pistons will be tough, but we'll see. I mean, we'll get. I mean, the Knicks, like I said, the Knicks are a decent team. They're a decent team, but Mitchell Robinson's missed all of the year, so that's kind of helped them. Not really helped them, but it's kind of prevented them from getting a top seed in the East, a top 2 seed in the East. I think maybe, well, not top 2, but I think they're where they are for a reason. Actually, I guess they're probably. Would you say third? Would you say third is respectable? Even if Mitchell Robinson's been fit all year, would you say third's been respectable?
What, for the Knicks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been respectable. I think because the East is very weak as well, comparative to the West. I think the Knicks probably don't fully deserve to be there, but they got there by I don't know, but just by a little bit ahead of the Pacers. And based on the fact that Tom Thibodeau always uses his starting 5, so I think that's been a feature of them, that they always use the starters, which I don't know if they're gonna be ready physically for the playoffs, considering how drastic the level they've been used. I think in terms of minutes, I think they have like 3 or 4 of the players in the top 10 in terms of minutes together this season, so. I think they may get tired out in playoff basketball. So I think that might go against the Knicks, the style of coaching that they have.
And last but not least, there's one team that we've not spoken about. And I'm sure you guys all know who I'm about to talk about. And Justin, I'm sure you know who it is as well, because I've not mentioned them at all. I've mentioned them, but very, very briefly. It's our beloved Boston Celtics, the current NBA champions, looking to go back to back. Solid season, I would say. It's been a solid season. I would say that the last month and a half or last 2 months with the Celtics has just been. I think we've just elevated our game. I think we're looking like we're playing playoff basketball again. I think the Celtics have hit form at the right time, and we're definitely a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. Hopefully, we do. Hopefully we do get back to the finals this year. It'd be great, and it'd be really important to cement our place back in the finals because we always talk about Celtics' legacy and everything. We always talk about wanting to go back to back. We have to do it this year. We have to do our job, and look, the first 2 months, the first 2 months was great. Was a good start. But then December, January for me was very inconsistent run of form, and then it just didn't look great. Luckily, we did seal 61 wins this season. It didn't look like that way, but we just about scraped it. And guess what? We did it in good style. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just excited for the playoffs, man. Hopefully, we can go back to back. Last year was an emotional year for me. Like I was so happy as a Celtics fan. We completely won the championship. This year, I'm hoping we can go back to back. But Justin, I want to know your thoughts on the Boston Celtics as a whole this year because I'd probably say, do you know what? Fair enough. Like, yes, you don't always have to finish on top. Like, not all teams on top have to not teams that finish on top go to the finals or whatever it is. Hopefully, we can go back to the finals this year. But Justin, I want to know your thoughts on the Celtics as a whole this year because obviously you're a Celtics fan and I'm a Celtics fan too. I want to know your thoughts as a fellow Celtics fan myself and yourself. Sorry.
Oh man, I'm gonna try to say something without saying the wrong thing about this team. Last year, I thought it was a very good season, and I think we definitely deserved the NBA championship and all that. This year, look, it's great that we raised the banner because we haven't done so since 2008. I'm glad we did that. I've said this from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, we raised the banner at the start of the year.
Yeah, I'm glad we did that. I'm gonna say I've said this at the beginning of the season, and it stayed true to me throughout the whole entire year. We were not finishing the number one seed. There was no way we were gonna beat the Cleveland Cavaliers to become the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. Okay, yes, we beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first game to end their 15-game win streak. Yes, we did that. Then they took the next two games. Then they beat us in Cleveland, and then we beat them in Cleveland, and then they beat us in Boston. So everyone in the Discord, everyone in the Celtics community, everyone was saying, "Oh, we're gonna be the number one seed. We're gonna be the number one seed. We're gonna dethrone Cleveland as the number one seed." I did not see it like that.
We didn't have to, anyways.
No, we didn't have to. We did not have to. And then when we were losing games,
Larry Bird's whole team. Yeah.
When we were losing games, people were so pissed off that we were losing games. Why? We raised the banner. Why did everybody need to get so pissed off? We raised the banner. To me, when we lost, I didn't care because we raised the banner. We won our championship. We got the history making of 18 championships. We didn't have to win every single game. Okay, yes, we want to keep like confidence going into the playoffs, but we did not have to win every single game.
Yep.
Case in point, we went on the West Coast trip. Okay, 3-1, came back and lost. 3-1, came back and lost. 6-0, came back home and lost. Come on, guys, it's the same thing. If you go on a long West Coast road trip, you're gonna lose a game coming back home.
And Justin, just to point out to you as well, yeah, we went 14-1 in March.
Yeah, and that one loss was the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yep, unfortunate loss because the referees were just bullshit. So we could have gone 15-0 in March. That would have been crazy. But I just want to say this: like, I'm looking at the Celtics team, right? We've hit form at the right time. These players know when they hit form. They have the pedigree now. They know when to hit form. They know when to play the right type of basketball. I think they were just like bored at the start of the year, which I don't agree with, but still, like, it's still for me. I think it's time to let's just put all that aside. Forget last season. I'm not forget it, but just move on from last year.
Look,
We won the championship. Let's start a new legacy.
look.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is when when players were getting hurt, people were saying like, "Oh, well, it's over. This
Yeah.
season's over. Jaylen Brown's out. Jason Tatum's out. Drew Holiday's out. Kristaps Porzingis is out." What did you want them to do? Play until they dead? So going into this playoffs, I know you think we're gonna go back to back 8 or at least I know you want them to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be realistic here. I want them to win a back to back championship. I do. I really do. This is where I'm gonna probably anger some people. I just don't see it.
Okay.
I just don't see it because it's hard to repeat. Look at the Raptors. Look at the Raptors in 2019. They couldn't repeat. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard. They couldn't repeat. The Lakers won the championship in the next season.
They had injuries.
Yeah, they had injuries. Lakers won the bubble championship. What happened the next year? The Milwaukee Bucks won the championship. Then what happened? The Golden State Warriors won the championship. Then the Denver Nuggets won the championship, and now we won the championship.
Denver won the championship.
There hasn't been a repeat champion since the Golden State Warriors over the Cleveland Cavaliers. And unfortunately, I hate to say this because I'm a huge Celtics fan. I've been following this team since 2004. I think that continues.
Okay. No, it's fine, bro. It's fine. I completely hear you. Like, it's your opinion at the end of the day. It doesn't make you any less of a fan. I still think, at least, you know what, you're honest. And guess what? I think we are. I'm not gonna give our predictions just yet, but I think we can go back. I think we can go back to back. But King, are you there, bro? I want to know your thoughts on the Boston Celtics as a whole this year. This is the last thing we talk about before you close out this talk, and we're gonna go to the awards predictions and whatever.
I remember like halfway through the season, the Celtics were struggling a little, but I always said that they're a team that didn't really need the number one seed in order for them to go back to back, because I think they are the best team out of the East. It's just if they can get fit, stay fit and healthy, and be able to do that, because I think right now for the Celtics it's about being a dynasty. In order for you to be a dynasty, you need to go back to back. You need to repeat. So it's very hard to do, and it's going to be a very difficult job. But I think in terms of the side that they're on, I think the most difficult matchup probably for them will probably be the Pistons if they make it to the second round. But I think if they can get to the finals, I think there's no one on the other side that will compete with them in a 7-game series. And then it's just about beating the best team in the West. But in terms of overall as a season, obviously it'll be disappointing that you didn't have a better kind of record in terms of you didn't get the 1 seed. But 60 wins, that's still a very positive season. So I just think I think in terms of them, I think they've been a lot smarter in terms of when they've decided to have a good run. And having a good run towards the end of the season, towards the playoffs, is the right time. And I think they've been much more conscious in the terms of their efforts of making sure they stay fit and healthy towards the playoffs.
Here's an interesting stat, and I think I'm gonna end it right. I think I'm gonna end my talk on this right there. 61-21. 61 wins is the most wins by a defending champion since the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. That and I know the Golden State Warriors repeated when they went 73-9.
Yeah.
I think Kane pretty much said it best. And I think we all pretty much said it best.
Yeah.
If we're not healthy, we're not going back to back. And look, I think there's going to be injuries going in. I think there's going to be injuries going into the Eastern Conference Finals because Kristaps, I don't think can stay healthy throughout the playoffs. And then we got Jaylen Brown, who's missed the last 2 games because of a knee injury.
He got the injection already for the knee. I think he should be okay for the playoffs.
Right. But then there's a fear of, okay, what if Drew Holiday gets injured? What if Jason Tatum gets injured? What if Derek White gets injured? Then there's going to be people coming for Joe Mazzulla's neck.
I could ask you the same though. What if everyone's fit? Because it's a game of what ifs, like, you know, because we could say what if this, what if that, what if everyone's fit, what if everyone's injured. You know, I hear your point though, because it's like, you know, what if this happens? Like, what if we lose like somebody? What if we stay healthy? You know, it's questions in the air, but you know, hopefully we can go back to back. But yeah, any final thoughts, and then we'll move on to awards.
I do agree with Kane. I think the team that's going to give us the most run for our back to back is the Detroit Pistons. However, if the Cleveland Cavaliers can stay healthy in this whole entire playoffs, I think that is a team to watch out for in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay. No, I hear it. I think that's it for the regular season. It's been a long discussion, 100%.
Yeah.
Over it. But we're gonna move on to the awards part now. But like I said, before we do that, people, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the channel. I'm currently on 175 subs. Big up to you guys for all that. But 200 subs is the goal. There's 31 of you watching. Head over to YouTube and Sports, subscribe, and yeah, let's do the awards. I guess I think the awards is where I think we settle the regular season predictions, and we'll wrap up with the play-in predictions. I'm gonna start off. I think we'll just skip names. Do you guys have all the awards, like the list of awards? Like, for example, Clutch Player of the Year. For example, do you have the list of how would you say it? Clutch Player of the Year. Do you have the list of MVP candidates? You have the list of Most Improved Player. King, do you want to bring it up? The awards part.
Yeah. What are you looking for? The
Like just the awards category for the season.
okay. Let me.
No worries.
Find it. Are you looking just for the categories itself?
Like, for example, Most Improved, Most MVP, Rookie of the Year, all the awards like that could be handed out at the end of the year.
I know the top 3 for MVP was Shea, Jokic, and Giannis.
It was Giannis, SGA, Jokic. Not in order.
No, not in order, but I know Tatum was in the top 4.
I can't
let's
find a
just-
specific page for it.
All right, no worries. Then I'll just go through for example, let's go with Rookie of the Year first.
Wemby. No, Wemby's not a rookie.
Can't
this
be
year.
Wemby. It's only players have been drafted.
It's probably
Yeah,
going to be Stephen Castle.
I was thinking Stephon Castle as well, but then I was thinking maybe Zach Edey.
I'm gonna go. That Zachary R guy from the Atlanta Hawks. I can't say his last
Zachary
name.
Researcher.
Yeah, that guy. That guy.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna go with mine. I had Dalton Connect for the Lakers, but probably not. Baylor Sharman for the Celtics. No, I'm kidding. Not Baylor Sharman. Damn. I'm gonna go with Stephon Castle. Why not? I think Stephon Castle is reasonable. I was thinking he was the first name that popped in my head when I thought of Rookie of the Year. So yeah. King, what's your
For Rookie of the Year, probably just going to give it to Stephen Castle. I think he's been the Rookie of the Year. I would have loved to give it to McCain, but got injured.
Yeah, sorry, I was just gonna get my phone so I could see the awards. So
Should we go? Should we get 6-man out of the way?
NBA Hustle Award. Let's go with Hustle Award. Who would you give that one to?
Kane, do you want to go first on this one?
Sorry.
Hustle Award. I don't even know. I'll just give it to Dylan Brooks. Why not?
All right. Yeah, we'll agree. Move on. Clutch player of the
He's hustling his way to NBA team spot. So
Clutch player of the year.
Which award?
Clutch player of the year. Who do you think is the most clutch player this year?
Stephen Curry.
yeah, him or Luka probably.
I was thinking Kawhi Leonard. You know,
That could be a shot.
Because look at Kawhi Leonard. Like the Clippers, he's come back from an injury, right? He missed pretty much first half of the season, right? He's come back. The Clippers have. Where were they before he came back? They were like what, the 8th, like not even in the playoffs, not even in the play-in. He clutched up and look where the Clippers finished, 5th in the West. Like that's good enough for them for a playoff.
It's either gonna be him, Luka, Curry, or James Harden. It's one of those 4. It's nobody from the Eastern Conference.
Tatum's been clutch, you know. This year Tatum's been very, very clutch for the Celtics. Like people think he's not clutch, but this year in the regular season he's been very, very clutch.
Okay, well we can add him to the top 5, but I don't think he'll like finish in the top 3 or something.
I think like Stephen Curry as well.
Yeah.
But I was thinking actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna go Kawhi Leonard because I said Kawhi Leonard was the guy that came back and look at where the Clippers finished. He's helped the Clippers in finishing a very, very good position. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with Stephen.
King.
I'll just go with Luka.
Okay, fair enough. Most improved player of the year. This is definitely going to be
most improved.
As well as 6th man of the year. Spoiler alert: 6th man of the year and the most improved. Go look at the amount of numbers. Go look at the numbers this guy's got off the bench.
You think most improved is Pritchard?
Go look at the numbers he was putting up this year compared to last year, the year before.
Kane, do you want to go on this one?
Genuinely.
Um, I'm
Actually,
gonna
no.
go with
No,
Dyson
no.
Daniels.
No, sorry. No. I'm giving it to Darius Garland for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, I was gonna say Darius Garland for the Cleveland Cavaliers too.
Yeah, I was thinking Darius Garland because look at where they finished this year.
So you and I got Darius Garland. Kane's got Dyson
Dyson Dan-
Daniels.
Either him or Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves will be up there as well.
It's possible. Yeah. Sixth man of the year.
Pritchard, please move on.
And
Let's
everyone thinks it's a Cleveland
Let's
Cavalier
move
for
on.
six man. Nah, fuck that.
Payne Pritchard, please. Let's move on. 6th man of the year, Pritchard.
It's probably most likely going to be him anyway. He's been the
Oh yeah.
best sixth
Oh
man.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Sixth man of the year is Pritchard. Defensive player of the year, Depoy. Defensive player. This is going to be interesting.
Depoy.
This is going to be interesting.
Depoy. You know what? I'll have you guys go first, and then I'll get mine.
Ah, damn. I don't know, man.
It was meant to be Wemby, but he got injured. I'll go Dyson Daniels just because of the steals, or maybe Walker Kessler. Maybe they might give it to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Nah, you can't give it to Walker Kessler because look at where they finished.
I'm gonna go Dyson Daniels.
Oh, this is tough. I'm going to give it to Rui Hachimura. And I know it sounds crazy, but go look at the way the Lakers play defensively when he's on the court. Genuinely, Rui Hachimura deserves more respect. He's actually a really good player. Him and Jackson Hayes have been really good this season for the Lakers defensively. Derek White potentially, he could be up there.
I would love Derek White, but I don't think he's gonna get Depoy.
What are you saying, King? Defensive player of the year is tough, man. Giannis could be up there as well.
Yeah, Giannis.
I'm gonna give it to Giannis. Why not? Giannis.
I don't know, man. Maybe who's been good?
It's gonna be Giannis, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Either Giannis, Daniels, or Miles Turner.
Or AD. I know AD's missed a bit, but
you know what? Yeah, Miles Turner sounds good to me. Miles Turner. Yeah, he's been up there with blocks.
Porzingis, since he's come back, has been solid.
Porzingis, Zubac, but I think it's gonna be Miles Turner.
Ivica Zubac is a very, very good shot, by the way, Justin. That's a very, very good shot.
Yeah.
Do you know what, bro? Because of that, I'm gonna give it to Ivica Zubac. Yeah. I think I go Ivica Zubac. Very, very good player. Yeah, Zubac. But yeah. What do you guys think?
I think it's gonna be Turner. It could be Zubac, but I think it's gonna be Turner.
So you're both saying Miles Turner, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
MVP.
Let me hold on. No, not MVP yet. Coach of the year.
Oh, this is easy. It's going to be the Oklahoma City coach.
I'm gonna go with Kenny Atkinson for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Because, bro, look at where the Cleveland Cavaliers were projected to finish. Look at where they were projected to finish. Look at where the Cavs were talked about. They weren't talked about enough as a team that was going to finish high up into the rankings as a top team in the NBA. But look at the way they've done this season. Look at the runs that they've had. Look at the runs that they made. Look at the amount of wins that they've had. Same amount of wins as the Celtics last year. But go look at their 16-game unbeaten run. They had a 15-game unbeaten run. They had a 16-game unbeaten run. I'm gonna give it to Kenny Atkinson for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that's where I would probably go with.
King said he'll be right back.
Yeah, I know. So we'll wait for King. I'm not gonna bother doing all NBA first team, all NBA second team whatsoever.
I think the coach. I agree with Atkinson, but I still think the coach of the year is going to be that Oklahoma City coach because he dominated the Eastern Conference except for that one game against the Cavaliers.
Executive of the year.
Stevens.
Nico Harrison almost made what you call fucking what's his name? Rob Pelinka look like an absolute genius, but he's not. Because Luka was handed to him. So I can't give it to Rob Pelinka. I'd probably say Brad Stevens, I guess. Yeah, he brought all his NBA champions back. Brad Stevens, I guess. I agree with you. I think Brad Stevens is the right one. But we'll wait for King and we'll go MVP. All NBA first team, NBA second team, whatever whatsoever. Like, do you want to do that? I mean,
probably not.
I'm gonna waste my time doing that. I guess. Yeah, I agree. We'll do that. But yeah, no, it's been a really up and down regular season, man. At least we get a week off before the playoffs start. I'm on a holiday, so I'm kind of chilling right now. And yeah, it's gonna be a long 2 months. Like, definitely gonna be something. But people, I'm not sure if you're aware, but for the NBA streams, I might want to switch it over to playback. So playback is an app where you can stream live games, NBA. You can stream, like podcast, like just like whatever you want on there, like stream like NBA content. I think they added wrestling. I'm not so sure they added wrestling, but I think they added it as well. But there's a lot more that you can do on playback. So make sure you guys do tune in to playback. Subscribe to AN Sport on playback if you haven't done so already. Download the app. Download the playback app. Is free. Doesn't charge you anything, and you can just click follow on AN Sports. I'm currently on 5. I've not really done streams on there, but I would like to start doing some streams on there. So make sure you guys do head over to playback and do follow. But yeah, we will do our MVP predictions in a bit. But Justin, what's been your most favorite? What do you think has been the biggest what do you think has been the biggest moment this season? What's been your most favorite moment this season? Like, it's just like as an NBA fan, like what's been like just in general, what's been the best moment this season in the NBA? What do you think this season?
Raising this.
This season. We haven't won the championship.
Raising this.
Banner night. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, King, we were just doing executive of the year. We gave it to Brad Stevens. and we get and coach of the year, I gave it to Kenny Atkinson from the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I give it to the Oklahoma City coach.
For coach of the year, give me Ime Udoka. I'll give it to him. And then executive, Harrison, Dallas Mavericks.
Sorry,
Harrison, Nico Harrison.
Nico Harrison, executive of the year. Right there.
He made Rob Pelinka look like a genius, but he's not a genius. But I'm giving it to Brad Stevens.
I'll be honest, I'm gonna give it to Rob Pelinka for that's robbery in daylight. That's what.
Because of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And last but not least, MVP.
Shea.
I'm giving it to SGA this year.
It should be Jokic. It should be Jokic, but it's gonna go to SGA.
I want Jokic to win because I'm not a massive. I should be honest with you, SGA is an incredible player, but I just like Jokic a lot. Jokic whenever he does things, he makes it look like so. He makes it look like so. What do you call? He makes it look so easy. You know, he makes things look so easy on the court. So I'm probably gonna say Jokic. I'm gonna give it to Jokic, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna. I want to say SGA. I'll be real. I think SGA will win it, but who I would give it to, who I want it to be, Jokic. Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna move on from that. We're gonna move on from the regular season now. It's time to move into the playoffs and the play-in. Let's give our predictions for the play-in tournament. So let's bring the bracket back up, and let's give our predictions for the play-in tournament. Because tomorrow we will find out, Justin, who the Boston Celtics are going to play tomorrow. We will find out who the Celtics will play tomorrow, and that's going to be and do you know what? It's going to be interesting to see who we do get first round. So, yeah, while you do that, like I said, people subscribe, like, and share. We're heading to the business end of the NBA season now, the playoffs. This is where the fun will hopefully for the Celtics fans, the fun to start. I think starting off tomorrow will be the Hawks versus the Magic. I'm just gonna give my predictions. I'm gonna go with the Magic. I think it'll be a Celtics Magic first round matchup. What are you both saying?
I've got the Hawks winning it. I like the Magic, and I think they can be a problem, but I don't know. I just feel like ATL will win it. Don't know why. I just have a gut feeling.
So it puts Magic into the loser of the 7th versus 8th.
Yeah.
Next up, we have. Hold on. What was the next game after that? It was Golden State versus Grizzlies, wasn't it? Next, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. So it's 7th versus 8th first, and then the 9th versus 10th will follow up later. I'm gonna go with. What are you saying, Justin? Sorry, I didn't ask for your predictions yet.
I think the Hawks are going to come to Boston.
Okay. So you both are saying Orlando gonna go to the loser game. Okay. So we'll move on to the Warriors versus the Grizzlies. I'll go Golden State. I think the Grizzlies firing Taylor Jenkins has definitely taken a toll on their season. I don't think they should have done that. That was an awful decision. So and don't forget, guys, this is a matchup of the 2021 playing tournament as well. We're all forgetting this is a rematch, and the last time the Memphis Grizzlies took down the Warriors. This time the Warriors are gonna seek revenge. I think they're gonna get it. I'm gonna go Warriors to finish in the 7th seed to take on the Houston Rockets. What are you both saying?
Oh, it depends on how is Jimmy. Is it a bad
I think
injury or is
I
he?
think I think he'll be okay for the game.
What did he have?
Like,
What
but
was his?
He was limping, so it had to do something with his leg.
I think it was like his knee or something. I'm not sure, but I think he makes it back for the playing game. I think they're gonna throw everything at it because they're gonna need to. No point waiting for next season because this might be the only chance to compete for the championship. I don't know though. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they will next year.
Yeah, give me the Warriors. Yeah, give me the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Warriors. Yeah. Okay, Justin, what are you saying?
Fuck it. Yeah, Warriors.
Okay. Next, we have the 9th and 10th game. So the loser of this game gets eliminated from the playoffs automatically. So the Bulls versus the Heat. Oh, this is tough, man. I can't lie. I think this might be the toughest one yet. The Bulls and the Heat. The Heat just don't have a consistent scorer, man. And the Bulls have looked quite good the last month. I can't lie. I think the Bulls have looked really, really good the last month and a half. I'm gonna go Chicago. I think the Bulls.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think the Bulls take it. I think the Heat get eliminated in the first round.
I think Miami moves on and Chicago gets eliminated.
I just think the Bulls, the way they looked in the past month and a half, the way all these players getting quadruple doubles and all that shit. Buzelis, Kobe White. Vucevic is looking decent.
Right, but I'm only going Miami because of Tyler Hero. And
the one thing that Chicago has is consistent scorers. Josh Giddey's also looking quite good. So the Miami Heat just have to rely on Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and Bam to score in the paint. And if they don't score, and when they face the Celtics, remember they completely got destroyed in the playoffs last year when they didn't have Jimmy Butler. They didn't have a consistent scorer. Tyler Hero is very, very important. He's definitely crucial to the Heat team. I'm gonna go with the Bulls though.
I got Miami.
King?
Yeah, give me Chirac. Give me the Bulls.
Next, we've got. So the Bulls eliminated. The Heat go. The Heat eliminated. The Bulls will go on to play. You guys saying Bulls versus Magic.
Well, you guys are. I'm saying Heat versus Magic.
Okay. So keep that thought. I went for Hawks versus Bulls. Okay. Kings Mavericks. To go and take on the Memphis Grizzlies or yeah. To go and take on the Grizzlies.
This should not be any question. It should be the Kings moving on. Mavericks should be eliminated.
King?
It's in the name. Kings. Light the beam.
AD's playing some really good basketball right now. To come back, he look healthy. Kings light the beam, Golden One Center, lovely arena.
Yeah, AD's going to get injured in the first quarter. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, man.
He's going to go up and then, oh, my knee.
Oh, my God. No.
So, in the play-in...
I'm going to go with Sacramento.
So, to recap, in the play-in, we all have the Warriors. We all have the Kings.
I didn't say King. Actually, I'm not so sure. Give me a couple of minutes. I'm not so sure.
Besides this game, we all have the Warriors. We all have.
Yeah.
I think Kay and I have the Hawks moving on to Boston. You have the Magic. I think.
I want to pick Dallas because I like the way AD's been playing, but I just don't know if they're consistent enough. I just don't know if they're gonna, without AD, they're gonna do okay. Like if AD doesn't perform, who's gonna step up? That's my only worry. In a must-win game as well. So, and it's a golden one. Sacramento are decent. I'm gonna go with Kings to win this. I won't be
Okay.
surprised if us win it, but I'm gonna go Kings.
Okay, so besides the one playing game, we all agree, right? Because
Yeah, we do.
you guys got the the Bulls. I got the Heat. We all got the Canes. We all got the Warriors. I think we all agree on the Hawks going to Boston.
You got the Hawks going to Boston. You both got the Hawks going to Boston.
Okay, so
I
two
got
so two
Orlando.
play. Okay, so two playing games we disagree on.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
wait, what's it? It'll be Grizzlies versus the Kings. I think the Grizzlies will beat the Kings.
Okay. I agree. I got Grizzlies to go over the Kings, and the Bulls versus the. So you guys got Magic. I got the Hawks. I'm gonna go with Chicago to make the playoffs.
I got Orlando going to Cleveland.
Yes, same. I got Orlando going.
I think
No.
Chicago. I think if Chicago, it doesn't really matter if Chicago wins or if Miami wins. They're gonna get eliminated by Orlando.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
And for the Kings and Grizzlies, I think it's gonna be. This is the game I'm gonna disagree on too. I think it's gonna be the Kings going to Oklahoma.
Okay. So you think Taylor Jenkins firing will play a huge factor on that?
Yep.
Fair enough. I mean, they've fallen off from third to seventh, so I'm not surprised. Or the eighth now. Sorry, I should say. But yeah, I got Chicago making the playoffs. I think Cleveland versus Chicago first round, and I got Celtics first. Actually, yeah, I got Celtics versus. Yeah, Celtics versus Magic first round. But the thing is with Atlanta, they always turn up in the play-in tournament games, though. Actually, no. I got Hawks coming to Boston actually, and I got Magic eliminate. I got the Bulls eliminating the Magic. So I got the Hawks coming to Boston. I agree with you guys, and I got the Bulls going to Cleveland.
I still think Orlando's going to Cleveland.
Yeah,
Okay.
Orlando going to Cleveland.
But I think the Hawks are going to come to Boston.
Yeah, I think that's no doubt. I think it's going to be Warriors, Rockets, and then for me, Thunder Grizzlies.
And Cavs versus Bulls for me, and then Celtics Hawks.
Celtics Hawks for me, yes. Cavs versus Magic for me. Thunder versus Kings, and Warriors versus Rockets.
Okay. Cool. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you guys, what was your most favorite part of the regular season? Like Justin, I know you said the championship banner raising night. King.
When it ended.
Oh my god.
I thought you were gonna say when you beat us at TD Garden for Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't care about a Christmas win. That won't mean nothing. Look at our record. we won in Christmas. Holiday spirit and that. What did that win me? Just a game. I mean, no.
I'm sure you guys know what mine is.
Beating Cleveland to end the 15-game win streak.
No.
Okay.
Something to do with the Lakers, probably. Lakers losing.
Yeah.
What beating the Lakers?
It's when we beat the Lakers, TD Garden. Because all that the Lakers would come smack us at TD Garden, and I just love it. I just love silencing them, man. But also when Josh Giddey hit that half court shot versus the Lakers, I fucking celebrated, bro.
Okay. Can I go on?
I was celebrating it, like I was watching the highlights, bro. That's how crazy it was.
Can I say one that's not a Celtics that's not a favorite memory of the season for the Celtics though? I'm gonna say this because I was there on January 10th. Domantas Sabonis breaking the all-time record for rebounds in TD Garden history.
Ooh. Okay.
Even though we
Non
lost, but I
non-favorite.
think that's my second favorite memory for the season.
Okay. So non-favorite team moment. So not your favorite team moment. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, I would say Luca going to the Lakers because of that was just a mad moment. That was just a mad
Man,
moment. Did not expect that. I woke up, I was like, "What? Luca to the?" I was like, "No way, no way! Top 5 player get traded.
I'm
Not in my life."
I'm probably gonna say Josh Giddey's half court shot versus LA. Like, come on, guys. I'm sorry. That was crazy, bro. He hit it beyond half court. Not even half court. He hit it before half court.
Yeah, that was mad.
Half court shot versus the Lakers, bro. That's crazy, man. And the way the camera shut. You see the way the camera was on that Lakers fan at the end.
Yeah.
you see that look at the Lakers fan at the end, bro. It was crazy. And nah, I mean.
I've got actually one more honorable mention for LeBron confronting Stephen A. That was
that was funny, wasn't it?
that was a funny moment, and all the LeBron songs as well. I'm not gonna lie to you, the remixes, they've been going crazy.
So my honorable mention would have to be Luka destroying the Mavericks after seeing his tribute video.
Oh yeah, Tiz in his eye got 45.
You should have walked up to Nico and be like, "Fuck you, bitch! I want to punch your face" or something like that.
It's funny from the fans going from cheering for him to the end just being pissed.
I think it was a big FU to Nico Harrison. That 45 pointer was a big FU to Nico Harrison. What do you say?
Yeah. I'll be honest, it's a long year to be a Dallas fan of any Dallas team because it's Mavs and the Cowboys.
I actually feel sorry for them, genuinely. Nico Harrison really said it was a business thing. I'm like, oh my god, bro, how is it a business thing? You're trading away your best player to a rival in the West.
Now the funniest part is when they said it was about the health concerns, and then they brought AD who's injury prone. Said no, we
that's mind-boggling, isn't it, bro? Swear down, it's mind-boggling. But yeah, I mean, not really much else to say. I think we'll wrap it up here. It's been a great show, guys. It's been a long show. Next week, playoff predictions. We're gonna do first round matchups. We're gonna do second. I think. Do you want to preview just the first round, or do you want to preview the second round and onwards as well?
Do it round by round. So once run.
I agree. We'll do round by round then. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless something happens in between, like a big injury or something changes or.
I'm not sure, but we'll see. We'll see. I think we'll do round by round. I think round by round is fair.
Yeah. Are we still doing weekly shows in between or just?
I'm down to do a show after the playing games happen. Just like a quick 40-minute recap of games.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be 2 games, so you might as well. I think there's 2 games per day. I think.
Yeah,
so,
per night. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 games, so there'll be one. There'll be one. The 9th and 10th games. The winner of the 9th and 10th games and the loser of 7th versus 8th will be on the same day. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see about that. We'll see our predictions as well. So we'll try to clip our predictions and we'll see.
I'll just I'll probably be available just for the when the playoffs actually start.
Are you not free when the playing games happen?
Oh, it all depends on the timing. That's the thing.
Okay. No worries. It's all good, man. It's all good. But yeah, people, we're gonna wrap it up here. It's been a great show. I'm at a different location. I'm on a holiday, so currently, relaxing. It's Thai New Year, so currently enjoying my time. But yeah, I will be live as normal. Don't worry, I will still be here if you enjoy my channel. If you don't, oh okay, fair enough. But make sure you guys do like and subscribe. I will put King's links in the title. He has a lot coming up this week as well. Justin, appreciate you hopping on, bro. It's been a great show. Appreciate you holding off for that long as well. I know the regular season talk was hella long, but we have we got to do what we got to do. We got to talk about every single team. Because you just never know. Like sometimes you just got to give your respect to some teams. Sometimes you just got to slander some teams, and we're here for that. But yeah, big up to you guys for coming on. Big up to you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm on the road to 200 subs. We're currently at 175. Thank you guys for that. I asked for 175 before mid-April, but we need 25 more to get to the goal of 200. So let's get there soon, people. And yeah, leave your predictions in the comments. Leave your predictions in the chat if you guys wanna, if you guys have any interest in NBA. Yeah, you guys love the NBA. Leave your predictions in the chat. Let us know whether you agree or disagree. Keep it respectful in the chat as always, and show some love to the panelists as well. They've taken the time of the day to come on the show and talk basketball. So appreciate you both coming on, King and Justin. Big up to you guys, and big up to everyone who's watched, liked, comment, shared. We're out. Take care. Peace.